We're here live on Animal House Radio, and tonight we've got a very special show lined up for you. It's going to be our annual Memorial Day tribute for our men and women. And we have two very special guest hosts in the house, and I'm going to introduce them to you right now. One you already know, he's the quintessential wingman, and we're like Batman and Robin. We're joined at the hip. Please welcome back Chris Buccieri.
Yay.
Yay.
And also joining us is a very lovely and very talented comedian and actor, and it's an honor to have her on the show. Please welcome, for the first time and hopefully not the last, Mary Lynn Farah.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
We're waiting for a big round of applause, but there's no audience.
I know, right?
For our own audience for now.
Oh my God. Let me play the intro and we'll get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to The Animal House.
You're nothing but an animal.
Your mother's an animal.
Show your food, you're an animal.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
They're animals anyway, so let them move their souls.
You are an animal.
We are all animals, my lady.
I'm not an animal.
What do you care? You're an animal. You're an animal.
Yeah.
I'm an animal.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
I feel the need for speed.
The opinions expressed by the hosts, callers, and guests are not those of Animal House Radio. Some of the material broadcast on Animal House Radio may not be suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, this is Kelsey Grammer.
Hi, this is Katie Seagal.
Hi, this is Joe Elliott.
Hey, it's Rick Springfield.
Hey, this is Tommy Chung.
Hi, this is Carol Burnett.
All right, everybody, listen up. This is Dee Snider from Twisted Sisters, Franzland Celebrity Apprentice. Yeah, you know me. And you're listening to Animal House Radio.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to the Animal House Radio Show. And if you're not listening to it, then leave the country. You're a communist. This is a good show right here. Get it done.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. Larry should be joining us shortly. It's been a while since we had him on. The last time we had him on was, I believe, when he was doing his, what was it? Remain Seated was his new CD that came out, and it was hysterical. So I'm looking forward to catching up with him. And, so while we're waiting for our celebrities to join in, we have a celebrity here. Like our guest co-host is pretty well known in Florida here, and she's an actor and comedian, and she's very, very good at both. So let's take some time to get to know her and talk to her. So Mary Lynn, acting and comedy, where did it start? Was it from an early age?
Yeah, so I was in my 20s. So, don't tell me how old you are, but tell me how old you are.
Oh my God. Is it who I think it is?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How come I can't? How come I'm not up there?
I see you. You don't see yourself?
Oh, yeah, there I am. Hey, look
There
at
you go.
me.
So you're the handsome guy.
Look at me over here.
Oh my God. Larry, how are you, pal?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
And I apologize for calling you in the middle of your golf game, and I know you're probably put into a sand trap.
Yeah, I doubled that hole. Thank you. That was your fault.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Hey, but I picked up the phone, so that was a good start.
That's so. And now I got to worry about me getting blocked.
No, I ain't blocking you.
No, I know.
I ain't blocking you. No, I was up there. David Wells. I was on tour, and I timed it out with David Wells' golf tournament at Trump Bedminster, at Trump's course in Bedminster.
Oh wow! Okay.
And so I was there playing golf there at Trump Bedminster.
David Wells, the Yankees pitcher.
David Wells, the Yankee pitcher.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I'm impressed.
The year before he went up to Trump as he was leaving, because Trump was there Melania was there when we were there. It was pretty cool. It was the safest golf course on the planet. I had my bus. They had my bus at a beautiful part of the parking lot overlooking the golf course. And I had 2 cars of Secret Service agents behind me, and then I had another cars of Secret Service agents to my right.
Oh,
It
wow.
was like every time I went for a walk at night, I was the only one. Me and my buddy Reno, we out and smoked cigars. I could just hear him on the, yeah, Larry and Reno were walking around. Don't shoot them.
Oh my God, Larry! Let
we
me
had fun.
introduce you to my co-host here. On the bottom there, in the blue baseball hat, is Christopher Buccieri, and right
Hi,
on top of you
Larry.
here is a lovely actor and comedian, and she's very good. So if you ever need an opener, she's free. Mary Lynn Farah.
Hey, Mary. How are you, Mary Lynn
I'm
Farah?
doing great. I'm glad you're here and joining us.
Ah, you sound like my other comedian friend, Tammy Pescatelli, who is from New Jersey.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
I love.
Miami,
I've worked
Florida.
with Tammy at the Funny Stop in Ohio.
Yeah, Tammy's awesome. I just saw her. I was working Foxwoods, and she was down the road at another casino, and so I just saw her up there.
Yeah, I mean the last time, it's been a while since we saw. I mean, you were in Pennsylvania, and we came out, and you couldn't be more nicer to us. We hung out with you, and it was so cool. But the last time we actually talked to you was when you put out "Remain Seated."
Remain seated. Yeah, and I have my new one is called "It's a Gift."
Oh wow, okay. And
I called it "It's a Gift" because you do like you'll do a goofy joke, like I have a joke where I go, I was at the casino. Why I named that. What was the joke? I go, I was at the casino, and Henry Winkler wanted to borrow $300 from me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're on Happy Days, $300. What do you need $300? He goes, well, I don't want to run up to my room and get my money. I promise you, you give me $300, I'm gonna give you $2,000 in 2 hours right here. Meet me right here in 2 hours. So I said, yeah, all right. So I gave Henry Winkler $300, and I haven't seen Henry Winkler now in 22 years. And then I went online and I found out. Which really pissed me off. I went online, found out I got caught up in one of those Fonzie schemes.
oh
Dude,
my
really?
God,
Oh my
he
God.
said Fonzie, not Ponzi.
A Fonzie scheme.
Oh, I didn't hear it right, Larry. I'm sorry.
And then everybody groans, and then I go, it's a
Oh
gift.
my God, I'll
That's
tell you.
funny. That's funny.
Mary, you want to start off with the question you had for Larry?
So comedy has changed a lot, like especially with social media and cancel culture. What would be your advice for like a comedian that's maybe like starting out, or maybe like how a comedian would be funny? Because nowadays I think a lot of comedians overthink because they're worried about what people might say and things like that. What would you say? What advice do you have? Like,
Well, I'm old school. My belief is, as an American and as a comedian, if you don't like a comedian, don't go to the show and don't bitch about it. If you don't like
That's
a
it. I
comedian,
knew he was going to
amen.
say that.
Amen.
Yeah.
if you don't like a comedian and you don't listen to them, then they're out of your life forever, and you don't got to worry about it.
It's like,
Uh,
and what do you call it? Bronx Tale? He owes you $20. He's never going to ask you for it again. Now he's out of your life forever.
Well,
Yeah, so my advice is, and the comics are kind of doing it already. There was a time where I think guys starting out were probably, oh man, I better not do that joke. I want to work. And they really kind of watched what they said. But now the guys that already had built-in followings, we didn't change anything. Like all of us guys on Blue Collar, and there's a lot. All the comedians that started my generation. I mean, we just kept doing what we're doing because we could care less if they didn't like us or not. Because we already had a built-in fan base, so I didn't care about it. But for the guys starting up, you could tell that it was getting pretty rough to do certain things in certain places, and it only took a few comics though to go, you know what, enough of this. And so I think the thing that really helped that out a lot was, now I can't remember the guy's name. He's one of the biggest comics going now. The one that was hired from Saturday Night Live, and then they kicked him off.
Pete Davidson?
No, the other one. And then they kicked him off because they went through his emails. And he's the big guy. He's a big guy.
Okay. All right.
You know, he's the, you know who I'm talking about. It's,
Eh,
oh man,
I
he was
can't
just,
remember the name off the top of my
he
head.
was just on the roast. He's been a guest now. He came back as a guest on Saturday Night Live, and he's all over the place. Does beer commercials, and you know, my memory sucks. But anyway, that guy, uh, you know, you got to apologize. You got Saturday Night Live that you were going to hire you, and he doubled down. He said, "You know what? I'll be even worse. I'm going to double down, say even more stuff." And it did nothing but triple his audience. And I think it showed other comics, hey, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do, triple my audience. And so I think that him coming out and doing that, and then a couple others, younger comics coming out doing that, I think it kind of opened it back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty good deal. But yeah, the whole woke thing doesn't go good with comedy. Comedy
Yeah.
is it's comedy. It's funny. What's funny to you is not funny to somebody else.
Right.
It's funny, you know. So it just depends, you know. Anybody
Larry,
that gets mad at a comedian and then wants to sue or wants them fired or wants them to, those people literally, they I feel bad for them.
And it
Oh,
puts
yeah.
Larry, can I ask you something? What's your opinion now when comedians are at a club? Let's, you know, just take for instance, it's over there Caroline's or something like that. What's your opinion on how the audience are reacting to jokes now? And they're physically throwing things at the comedians on stage, or actually getting to the point where they're jumping up on stage.
Well,
I mean,
that doesn't happen a lot. I mean, you see it because they put it on social media and they'll
yeah,
run clips. I mean, there's thousands of comedy clubs and comedians going up every day. That doesn't happen to.
Right.
But you'll see the ones that they do it to. I mean,
and they
look,
blow it out of proportion.
yeah, you know,
Right.
he's got, yeah. Well, that was happening in the 80s. You know, there's a video of a comic guy went on stage and smashed him with his guitar back in the 80s. You know,
Oh,
I mean,
Right.
it happens. There's always going to be somebody in there that's at a comedy club that's going to, you know, that's just going to happen. It's very rare. I mean, that
Right.
doesn't, just because the social media will highlight the ones that does happen. Just think, you know, it's a very small percentage that
Right.
Yeah.
Mary, you got another question?
Yeah, and I really appreciate everything that you said because I do comedy like sporadically, and other comics, I feel like sometimes they have so much talent and then they hold back. And in my opinion, when you hold back, that's the things that you should say on stage. And it just becomes like so much tension for that comedian. Like it's comedy, like you said, you don't like
Yeah,
it, don't come
no.
see it.
Yeah, you don't want to hold back if you're on
Yeah.
stage. You do what you do, and you try to find an audience that likes it. That's how you do stand up. I mean, the only thing that I'm really careful with now is social media, because it doesn't matter what joke and how innocent the joke is on social media.
Yes.
You're gonna trigger somebody.
Somebody
So,
will find something wrong with it.
Yeah.
and I don't really care. The only reason I don't do it as much is that it's just it ruins your feed, and it turns your feed into a hateful feed when it wasn't
Right.
meant to be, and you don't need it anyway. Here's the thing I figured out about social media. I used to comment on some or don't comment on some, but you're never going to change anybody's mind on social media ever. And if you're a comedian and you're successful, all you do is make yourself a target. So
Yeah.
for some weirdo, so it's best just to
Yeah. You know, Larry,
the
I
social media is good for promoting your wares and all that kind of stuff.
right.
Exactly.
And that's
Other
what
than
it
that,
was designed for. But yeah. Well, that's the whole deal. With something like social media, you have to take the good with the bad. But I agree with Larry. I'm old school, Larry. I go back to the days of like the Dean Martin roast, and I don't know if you feel this way, but to me, and for some reason, these younger comics don't know who came before them, which I think is a big mistake. Secondly, is there's more work as a clean comic than there is as a dirty comic. The days of Sam Kinison are over. You know what I'm saying? There's, and that's your stick. That's your stick. But it's just, it's not
Well,
like,
you can
it's not
still
accepted like it was.
no, you can still make a pretty good living being super blue. I mean, obviously, there's people that go see people like that. I always say I'm PG-14, pretty good for 14 minutes. But there's always going to be guys that work blue. There's like Nate Bargatze. I met Nate when he was just coming up,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice kid, but he's totally clean. He's got a unique delivery. He stands out. His delivery stands out. It's not that his jokes are that. I mean, he's super funny. I mean, his jokes are funny, but that's a kind of guy that's just unique. You go see him work an audience, and he works it very uniquely. But he is super clean. Let's put it this way: the super clean guys probably have a better chance of working arenas
Right,
than the more dirtier guys, because you
right.
have a vast audience when you work cleaner.
Absolutely.
Larry, sometimes, mate, Carlo, may I?
Yeah, of course.
Larry, sometimes you push the edge with your material, but you don't get into 4-letter words.
No.
Is there any particular reason?
Well, I wouldn't say I don't get into 4-letter words. When I came up with the character, I took just a mix of everybody I grew up with. I'm a farm kid,
Yeah.
so I grew up on a pig farm, and I've been around livestock my whole life, and I'm into rodeo and all that kind of stuff. And when I was a kid, the F word was unacceptable. Taking the Lord's name in vain was unacceptable.
Yeah.
But some bitch and stuff like that. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, we're uncensored. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, but stupid words like some bitch and bullshit and where I grew up, those really weren't considered swear words. Your swear words were taking the Lord's name in vain and
Yeah.
dropping f bombs and that kind of thing. I mean, it's really funny. I did a show one time in Arkansas, and I bet I said some bitch and bullshit 50 times during the course of my set. And this is back when I went out and I signed autographs after the shows. I used to do that all the time, and then it got so big, we had to keep paying overtime for 3 hours of overtime, so we quit doing that. But I went out there, and there was a guy come up to me. I was signing some hats, and it was him and his 12-year-old boy and his 10-year-old daughter. And he goes, "Hey, Larry, man, we just love you. And you know why I love you? I'm going to tell you why. I brought my kids tonight, and you were up there for over an hour, and you didn't cuss one time."
No, but if you think about it, Larry, like the Dean Martin roast, that was some of the funniest shit ever, and they never did any of that, and they didn't have to.
Yeah.
No, it was great. That's kind of like where I learned how to do everything, because when I grew up, I do all one-liners and goofy stuff, but I do all that because that's just my sense of humor. And the same with you. I grew up with the Dean Martin celebrity roasts. I grew up with Monty Python's Flying Circus TV show.
Yep.
I grew up with Benny Hill. I grew up with Hee Haw.
Oh, I loved Hee Haw. My God,
So,
yeah.
All the innuendos. You didn't have to say it.
Yeah, you didn't have to. All those bada bing, bada boom shows.
Right.
I love that kind of humor. To me,
Yeah.
it's just, like when you first get on stage, I like to establish that I'm like a one-liner comedian, So my first 4 or 5 jokes are, I did a show last night, and the people that didn't walk out on me really enjoyed it. Bada bing.
Mic drop.
But
just stupid stuff like that.
The beauty of the Dean Martin roast is that Don Rickles can say something to Flip Wilson or LaWanda Page, and nobody got angry, and it was like Don Rickles. It was funny. He says, "LaWanda, I'll see you Tuesday. Just the furniture, please." And but everybody was friends. They didn't take offense to it. Nowadays, like I said, it's funny, Larry. I was talking to Billy Engvall, who's been on the show, and Ron and everybody. They come on regularly, and just my favorite comedy tour of all time, Blue Collar Comedy Tour, the most successful in my opinion. But Billy,
hysterical.
Talking about the cancel culture thing, Bill Engvall said he was at a PTA meeting, and the school was going to outlaw candy canes because they were shaped like a letter J, and J stood for Jesus. And he said, he stood up and goes, "Excuse me, you want to do what?"
Yeah,
He
that's
snorted.
there's really some weirdos that live in our country that I just don't get it. They just, any kind of fun or happiness
How
They
dare you,
just
right?
want to kick it out of your life. And
Yeah.
that's because they're miserable and they want everybody else miserable. But if people would just stop kowtowing to that crap, then they would go away and go in a corner. But people, people are nice. Well, I don't want to offend anybody.
Like my grandmother, she would let me watch like Benny Hill. Nowadays, you watch something like Benny Hill. Oh my God. But it was funny. Benny Hill was Benny Hill. Like if my grandma let me watch it, it's not a big deal. Now it's like, oh, it's not. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Listen,
You know
my
what, Mary?
father-
Continue to watch Benny Hill. He's hilarious.
I watch Larry. I watch the old shows on YouTube a lot. My father and I used to watch Benny Hill all the time when I was a kid, and I'll go even what's her name with Tim Conway and Harry Corman. What was the
Carol Burnett?
Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett. Going far back as Carol Burnett as well. Hysterical. When you see
right.
clips of that today on like TikTok or something, it's to this day it still brings me to tears.
That's part of the golden age of comedy. That's like a
yeah.
forgotten era, man.
But Larry, I like watching your act, but I like when you do your movies too because they're funny as hell. And the most famous scene, especially for my kids when they were younger, was Mater. Did you really enjoy doing that? Was that a lot of fun?
Woo-hoo, dadgum, happier than a tornado in the trailer park. Yeah, that thing's awesome. I love doing that. And it never ends. It keeps going. I'm just wrapping up 60 brand new episodes for Disney Junior for 2027.
Are you serious?
So,
wow.
Yeah, so that continues to be awesome. So that was fun to do. I enjoyed doing that. I don't want to brag about my voiceover work, but I'm the only artist that does voices that actually puts on weight to do the voice.
Oh,
You know what, Larry? Mary is very good at voiceovers. She does a lot. She does like the people on South Park. And what kind of advice would you give her? Because that's a very clicky, tight knit thing to get into. What would you give her as far as advice wise for voiceover work?
Well, you just have to keep sending stuff. I'm a bad one to ask for that, Mary, and I apologize.
Okay,
but
don't apologize.
I didn't audition. I would have never thought they heard my voice.
Yeah.
On a CD.
Oh wow.
And he had one day to pick the voice of Mater, and he went and got a Blue Collar Comedy CD because he'd never heard of Larry the Cable Guy, and he goes, "Let me try this guy." And it was it was kind of the Southern type deal.
Yeah.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour. And he heard my voice and he goes, "Man, that's my tow truck." So I kind of fell into it. And so I guess you would just have to keep sending in and just look for things that they need voiceovers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I really couldn't begin to tell you because I've done Mater for so long and I didn't have to audition to get it. I just got it. The only thing that hinders me about that is that I can't do any other voice. I can do other voices.
Right.
But
it's basically a one-shot deal with Mater.
Some of them I've done Mater for so long, everything's gonna sound like Mater.
Yeah,
because I started doing voiceover when we were in quarantine because I'm also an actor. So I was like, you know what? Let me do something, and it's pretty creative. So it's fun. It's nice. So
Give Mary, do some South Park for us.
oh my God, I've got Macathon. I got diabetes. That's Cartman when he's making fun of Scott Matheson or whatever because he's got diabetes. I say that to Carlin when we're talking sometimes, and he just loses it laughing.
Oh my God.
Larry, the only other one I ever wanted to do was I got this when me and Foxworthy used to go to we used to spend a ton of time at Atlanta Braves spring training games, and I used to do this old Southern guy, and dude, we would laugh. It was always I want to see if there's when we're doing the car stuff if they have I'm gonna ask them one time if they need because it's kind of like we went up there to that deal up there last week and they brought that coleslaw in there, and I think it was spoiled, and it done knocked 3 of them out from food poisoning. Just some guy that's talking like that. He's always like, "Oh, we's up there at that deal up there." Never finishes the words. It's always instead of up there, it's up there. Uh,
That's funny. Hey, Larry.
Hey,
and,
hey,
you know,
Larry,
I'm sorry,
do
Chris.
you?
Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to step on
No.
you,
Go
but
ahead.
you and Jeff, do you still do anything together? Are you guys
yeah.
still in touch? Obviously, you would
Oh,
be, right?
yeah. Jeff and I do stuff all the time. You know, Jeff and I have our own station on Sirius. Jeff
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup on Sirius 97, and he
I didn't know
does
that.
and he does a show, I think once every week or once every 2 weeks. I do a show every week, every Wednesday. We do a live 2-hour show on Wednesdays. You know, we love doing that channel. It's just fun to have your own channel and
Yeah.
just get it keeps you occupied, keeps you busy, helps you write. You know, we're only contracted to do 20 hours of something live for 20 hours a year. And I do 2 hours I do 2 hours a week. So I'm putting in over
Yeah, you find you want to do more every time, right?
I'm putting in 104 hours. I only have to do 20.
Yeah, but it's fun, Larry. It's fun, isn't it?
It's fun. You know, we got a little cast of characters in there. And then once a year, we'll do a live show out here at the comedy club in Nebraska. And that sells out, and it's a lot of fun. So I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy stand up. You know, I just finished my tour. I started putting everything. I only do 26 shows a year. That's about all I want to do now. You know, I've been doing this for 38 years.
Yeah,
Five of them funny. And so when I used to do the 26 dates a year, but I scattered them throughout the course of the year. So I was always doing a little something every month. But I found that you don't stay sharp, and you're always worried you're going to forget something, and you kind of stick to your jokes. So what I did this year was I did all 26 shows between January 12th and May 17th.
Oh, wow.
So I was out on a tour bus and I knocked them out, and
yeah,
I finished. And you stay super sharp and you write new stuff. And I wrote about another 12 new minutes doing that, just staying sharp and adding the jokes and trying out jokes. So I'm done now again.
You got to get your chops in. Yeah.
Like keeping your craft refreshed, you know?
Yeah.
Larry, we had Rich Little on in December, right, Carlo?
Oh, yeah. For our New Year's Eve celebration.
For his age, that man is still sharp as a knife. It's unreal.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good thing about comedy. You know, you never and you really don't ever retire from it. If you don't want to do it, you just stop doing it for a while, and then one day, you know, I think I'll do some shows, and you see who wants to book you, and then you can still do some shows. So, it's just fun to do. I love doing it. Now I'm done now for the rest of the year, but I got a ton of stuff going on. I just got a show with Paramount, CBS Paramount, and I got a 52-week video show that we're gonna tape in June.
Okay. That was going to lead me to my next question, because you know, are you going to start doing movies and stuff like that again?
No, you know what? I do not want to be away from home that long. I love where I live. I love my place, and you know, I got horses and I got cows, and you know, I live on a nice farm out here, and so I just don't like being gone. I do it. I like being gone in the winter because I can get away from the cold weather for a while, and I can golf and do all that kind of stuff, go to warm weather places. And
have you ever been to Florida have you ever come down here around that time? Like
I pretty much, Mary, grew up in Florida.
Okay.
You know, I'm from Nebraska, but I moved to West Palm Beach, Florida in 1978.
Okay.
And then I moved to Orlando, Sanford in 1995. I didn't move back to Nebraska until 2012. So I lived in Florida 37 years.
Okay.
I started in Florida. I started at the Comedy Corner in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And at the time, it was one of the top 5 comedy clubs in the country. I mean, it was great. I loved it. It's such a fun club. I worked all around there. I worked at Fort Lauderdale all the time, and Miami and Boca. And where are you at down in Florida?
I'm in Miami and Broward, between both. Yeah.
Okay. Used to have a club down there called the Comedy Womb.
Comedy Womb. I'm familiar with
Used to be in a hotel on Beachside. And I'm sure it's not there anymore. It was in like 1985, 1986, 87. They had a room down there called the Comedy Womb.
Oh
And it
my
was in
God, yeah.
it was in Miami. So yeah, I performed down there a few times, Lauderdale. I stuck mainly though when I worked mainly, I worked West Palm, Tampa, St. Pete, Jacksonville, Pensacola, Daytona, Fort Myers.
You come up to the Northeast? Or?
I was just there. I was just up at
He was at the
Atlantic.
Trump golf course.
I was at Atlantic City working the Trop.
Oh, were you really?
I was working the Trop in Atlantic City, and then I was just at Foxwoods. I was in Farmington, Pennsylvania.
In Connecticut?
Yeah, I was in Foxwoods.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half north of me because I moved to Connecticut from Manhattan 23 years ago. So
yeah,
but
good move.
Hey, Larry, quick question for you. Who got you started in a comedy?
Well, I just liked it. I thought it was, I liked it. I liked to laugh. I never thought I'd ever be a comedian. I was a bellhop at a hotel. And I was, we always took turns driving the van. If you drove the van, you got paid an hourly wage plus tips. If you didn't,
you took your time?
If you didn't drive the van, you got just tips and not a good regular hourly wage. So we took turns driving. But I used to drive airline crews to the airport and cracking jokes. They all said, "You ought to be a comedian. You ought to be a comedian." The first comedian that I ever really loved was Steve Martin.
Oh wow, yeah.
The
without a doubt.
That's a great role model right there.
Wild and crazy guy. Let's Get Small, and a really cool part. Yeah, a really cool part of my career though. When they told me we were going to start booking arenas, I told them they were nuts, and I didn't want to. I said, "You guys, we can't do arenas. That's ridiculous." And they called me up and they said, "Hey, have you seen your ticket counts?" And I'm like, no, don't tell me. Are they that bad? He said, well, we just went on sale in Hershey, Pennsylvania. You're already at 9,000. And so I was like, you got to be kidding me. And so I did all these arenas. I was doing anywhere between 8 to 12,000 people a night. And, but it was really cool with Steve Martin. I was a big fan. So when I bought Steve Martin's book, I looked at his calendar. He had his calendar there, and it was all the exact same places that I was just going to. It was really cool.
Wow. That's amazing.
Hey, there's the freaking comic guy.
Oh, the pooper.
Look at me.
I love you.
You're very sexy.
I freaking love this guy. This is my favorite. I love this guy. Happy
Memorial Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's make it the happiest Memorial Day ever.
You're very sexy. Just saying.
Yes.
Very.
What do we have here? My God, look at you.
Whenever there's
you guys
nothing.
Look like you were dishonorably discharged from the KISS Army. Whatever that means.
Oh
You look
my
like-
God. Joining us now is a legendary actor, Barry Pearl, and Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. I want to welcome you in. And Robert Smigel, who was a brilliant writer. Robert, thank you. I know it was last minute. Thank you
I don't
so
know
much.
who you're talking about. I've got 7 more jokes about how fat you are.
Let me just say before I get out of here that Robert Smigel and Comic Dog, when he went to the Star Wars the Star Wars thing and started, that is the funniest sketch I've ever seen in my life.
In the history of the United States.
When you go, what does this button do? Does it call your parents to come pick you up?
Yes. I got that.
Oh my Lord.
Darth Vader
I've watched
good.
that one about 100 times.
Oh my God.
Thank
Is
you.
this Smigel of SNL?
I can tell you do a lot of watching and
Yes.
not much walking.
Hey, let me
my-
ask. Hey, can I ask him one question, Robert?
Of course.
Who?
Do you, Comic Dog, Robert? I don't know who I'm supposed to be talking to, Robert or the Comic Dog, but do you already have a list of stuff planned out that you've written or is most of that just made up on the spot?
I just have a hand up my ass. I don't know what you're talking about.
How long
This
has that
guy
been
over
up
here.
there?
Oh, him. Oh,
The
this
guy,
guy.
yeah,
It's a
that guy.
question
The
for
guy
that
with his
guy.
hand. The guy with the hand up your ass. Does he write them out before?
What's the
and come up
answer?
with-
You have jokes. You have some jokes written down. Like I have written. We've got jokes written down right now.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Larry, did you ever see the one when he went to in Chicago, the burger stand?
Yes, the Wiener Circle. Yes.
Robert, that is the funniest thing.
You keep talking to the hand up my ass. I guess you don't want me to poop on you.
All right, I'm sorry. Triumph.
Speaking of that, Triumph, it's an honor to have you back on with us.
Thank
and
you,
this young lady up here, her name is Mary Lynn, and she's got a very important question to ask you.
Please, Mary Lynn.
Well, first of all, you're very sexy.
Yes, I am. Yes.
You know that already. So this is
Yeah.
something that I've been
I've
wanting
humped
to
a
ask.
lot of shins in my day.
Interesting. Well, hopefully you'll find this interesting. So I'm very curious. Have you ever wanted to poop on a celebrity instead of interviewing them? Like a celebrity that you just want to poop, or maybe
Like
diarrhea
physically
on-
poop because
Yeah.
I metaphorically I poop on everyone. Like these
Right.
guys, I can't wait to poop on them. These
Okay.
guys, this fat guy over here, you look like you report to General Mills.
Oh my God.
Yes.
We have a lot of celebrity. We have Barry Pearl, who starred in Grease, and Larry the Cable Guy, who joined us today for our Memorial Day celebration.
Pearl, hello.
Hello, Mr. Dog Person with the cigar. Whatever your name is, I've forgotten. Please. forgive me.
Triumph.
Triumph, of
Triumph.
course. Have loved your work for many, many decades.
Oh my
Thank you.
God.
Thank you so much. Sorry that you're slumming here with me.
That's okay. Slum is my middle name.
Good. It's
Very
for the
good.
troops. It's all
Very-
for the troops.
All for the troops.
We're taking a bullet as it were.
Triumph, we're going to make you an honorary military dog.
Thank you. It's about time. So, what are your plans for Memorial Day besides sitting in a folding chair outside an Italian deli?
Oh, wait. Whoa. There's no such thing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's too
You're
funny.
insinuating there's no such thing.
Oh my God.
Memorial Day is a beautiful day. We honor our fallen heroes, and I'm not
Right.
referring to. I'm talking about soldiers. Not every time that you drop your sandwich while you're on the toilet. You get the hero sandwich because he likes
Oh
to
my
eat
God.
food.
That is great. You know what? I just
Yes.
want to make sure everybody realizes that Memorial Day is not just about having barbecues, and it's about
Thank
the
you.
people who gave their lives for us so we can
Exactly.
have those barbecues.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, Triumph, my favorite video of you is when you did the Hawaiian weather report.
Oh, that's
And
a
you're-
good one. Poor Hawaii. Light winds. What is Hawaii going to do?
Oh my God, I can't. It's just too funny. Does anybody have a question?
Triumph, quick question.
Yes.
And I'm going back to something several years ago. You're at the Grammys, Eminem. What was that like?
Okay. I guess I better take that one. I got it. I beat the shit out of that guy. No, you didn't. No, that was fun. It was actually the MTV video.
Oh, the MTV
Music
Awards,
Awards.
that's it.
Yeah, the VMAs. And I was there to make fun of Moby. I actually spoke to Moby for a couple of jokes. And then and we rehearsed it. And then at rehearsal, they tell me Eminem's going to be a couple of rows in front. So just go over to Eminem and say some shit to him. And I was like, really? He'll be cool with it? He's Eminem. He's hilarious. He's going to love it. And of course, he hated it. He was like completely blindsided. He didn't like that he wasn't warned about it.
Oh,
so he
boy.
like covers my puppet like this. And he's like, yo, but I already have my TV time, he says to me. Covers the puppet with his hand, and then his buddy Proof, may he rest in peace, and Obi Trice was with him, his two buddies from Detroit. And one of them, I actually did have some jokes in my hand that I was ready to say to him. And Proof just knocked it out of my hand. And they cut away to like Christina Aguilera. entering.
Wow.
Like they just cut my segment off, and I was really upset because I had some like really great jokes ready to go for Eminem, and everybody. Then I get off stage and everybody's like, "Congratulations, man! That was amazing!" Like, what? I didn't get to do my jokes. But then it was like on the front page of the Daily News the next day. Like, you know, just because it was the wrong thing happened, and so I'm
Right.
supposed to be happy about that. Like,
Robert,
See,
once again,
that's spoken by a true comic right there. The only
Yeah.
thing
Right,
he
I
was
wanted to get my
upset
jokes
about
in.
was he wanted to get his jokes in. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
it. Robert, I got to thank you. I know it was last minute, and thank you for taking time. I know you're super busy. I just
cool.
have one question, and I'm going to turn it
course.
over to my co-host. And being a writer for SNL, especially the head writer, what kind of pressure does that put on you? Because everybody around you was a great writer. Like, what kind of like you have to elevate yourself? What kind of pressure is like on a daily
Well, I
basis?
wasn't the head writer at SNL. I was the head writer at Conan O'Brien.
Conan, okay.
When we started that show. And at SNL, I was just, you know, trying to get my own stuff on.
What
And
years?
then
What years were you there, Robert?
85 to 93, and then I came back in 96 and did cartoons for like 12 years.
You were the
Jimmy
longest running
Funhouse.
writer, right? In SNL history.
Nowadays, writers never leave.
Right,
Like
right.
the industry is so shaky. Like back then, it was like you're not cool if you stay for more than 5 years. It's like, you know,
Okay. All right.
it's like supposed to be a stepping stone.
Did you know Hugh
Was it
Fink?
tough to get?
Yeah, I not only did I know Hugh Fink, but I met him. We both went to NYU, and the first night I ever did stand-up comedy, first night I ever did comedy in front of strangers, was at a stand-up contest at NYU Student Center, and I just wrote an act and tried it because I figured nobody knows me at NYU. I was a commuter student,
Uh-huh.
and so I won't be shamed if I bomb. But I ended up being one of the 3 winners, and Hugh Fink was another one of the 3 winners. So I got to know him a little bit, and then we did overlap at Saturday. He came to Saturday Night Live after me.
Oh wow.
I remember.
Robert,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Barry. Real quick, I wanted to introduce you to my co-hosts, Mary Lynn Farrah and Christopher. Mary Lynn is an aspiring comedian and actor. She's a big
way to
fan
go.
of your work and Triumph, and I think she's got a couple of questions. If we, Barry, just bear with me, Barry. I'm not going to give you. You're going to get equal time. Don't worry about
No
it.
problem.
And
We'll
Mike,
never know what
hello,
we-
Mike.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
Hi, Mike. How are you? Good to see you again.
Super to catch this. Thank you. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Go ahead,
Hey, Mike.
Mike.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
absolutely.
I gotta
Pleasure.
go. I gotta roll.
Oh, Larry, thank you so much. I owe you one, so you know, whatever I could do. But thank you
owe
for all
me-
you do.
You owe me nothing. You owe me nothing.
Larry, it was such an honor, honestly. And you're an amazing comedian, and I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep making
Appreciate
people
you.
smile. It was such an honor, my friend.
I appreciate you guys. Mary, good luck to you. And Robert, man, so awesome
Larry.
you were on here, man. I'm such
So
a
nice
fan
to
of the
meet
frickin'
you after
Comic
all
Dog.
this time.
I'm such a fan of the Comic Dog, man.
Thank
A
you,
lot of
buddy.
laughs
That
with you,
means
buddy.
a lot. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Bye, guys. Happy Memorial Day.
Give my
Same
best
to
to
you and your
Kara.
family. Be safe.
Tell
I'll
Kara
do it.
I said hello.
I'll do it, brother. See you later.
Thank you. Bye bye. Robert, Mary wanted to ask you because she's
Sure.
in comedy and she's
Yeah.
just starting out. She's really, really good, and I'm not just saying that.
That's great.
So I was just curious, like when you
Yep.
interview like all these people, like your mind is very warped, and I mean that in a good way. Like, you know, it's just very creative. So like, what is it? What's in your mind? Like, is it like experiences, or it just comes out of nowhere? Because we all love it, and I'm just very curious.
That's very nice of you. Well, I want to tell you, first of all, that like, yeah, I had a lot of experience as a writer, and I wrote a lot of weird stuff at SNL and Conan and movies I've written, but Triumph, I do get a lot of help. I get a lot of help from other writers.
Wow.
Because
Really?
insult
That's interesting.
comedy is like not the first, is not my favorite, most natural thing to do. I've gotten a lot better at it,
It's a lost art.
but it's like there's so many jokes Triumph needs, you know? So
Yeah.
so I always get some help from people. whether
And
it
I,
was at the Conan show or I just did the White House Correspondents' Dinner, believe it or
Whoa,
not. And
wow.
the
brilliant.
You
Daily
were
Show
there?
writers helped me with that. And yes, I was there. I was 50 feet
Oh
away
my
when I
lord!
heard
You
the
got some
gunshots.
guts, some balls, I'll tell you. That
And that's
Wow.
was
very
awesome.
supportive
That
that
was
you get
brilliant.
that you get that support from others. I think that's all like a teamwork. So that's awesome.
Well, writing is a team sport, especially in sketch comedy. And I actually started a podcast called Humor Me that's coming out. It's on iHeart now. And what I
Oh,
do is
wow.
I work with writers to help like somebody who's called in with a problem, like they got to write a speech or a eulogy, or they have to, we've had crazy things like an a cappella band that wanted to make their banter in between songs funnier. So
Uh-huh.
every week I have a couple of writers on, or famous people too, like believe it or not, Letterman did an episode because somebody wanted to write a fan letter to a guy who had written for him named Steve O'Donnell.
Oh.
So I had Letterman come on to give him advice with me on how to make this writer happy. But yeah, so it's really fun because that's the most fun part of writing is collaborating and coming up with stuff, bouncing off each other.
Exactly. And it becomes like a natural high, when you buy something.
Oh, yeah.
Or like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris,
Absolutely.
you have any questions for Robert? Because he's
Well,
got limited
Robert,
time.
Yeah, I know, Robert. Two things. A couple things, real quick though. One, who's your favorite person to roast? Two, can I get you to do a drop for me saying I want to poop on you?
Yes. So wait, what was the first? Who's my favorite person?
Who's your favorite person? Your favorite celebrity to roast?
Oh, to roast.
Yeah.
Huh, man. I mean,
I know
really
there's so
enjoyed-
many.
I gotta say, celebrity. I really enjoyed doing the Star Wars people because they had such a good sense of humor about it. You know,
Oh, I mean that I could watch that over and over again. It's the funniest thing.
Like people like it when Triumph gets people angry, but in the case of that thing, the Star Wars,
I love it.
It was so much fun because people were fans of Conan, fans of Triumph, and they were.
Mhm.
It was all, the jokes were really sharp and pointed, but everybody
Yeah.
took it well, so it had a great vibe to it.
Yeah.
I'm generally happier when people are having a good time, even though the
Absolutely.
audience sometimes wants me to
Oh,
piss
yeah.
people off.
When
Yeah,
you
right.
walked up to the child, you said, "Just blink twice." I almost died.
Wait, just blink twice to who?
When you said something because there was a kid there with her parents.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
No, that
Like
I
a little private
yeah.
cry for help there. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I know you're into raising funds for autism. I have
Yeah.
a nephew that's autistic.
Oh, wow.
And I heard you talking about it on Stern, and it's very
Yes.
admirable. And
Yeah.
I'm a promoter. I put on shows throughout the tri-state area here, New York, New
Oh,
Jersey,
wow.
Connecticut. And every show that I do, we try to raise money for different charities. And we've raised,
That's
in
great,
1 month, we
man.
raised $4,500 for the Shriners. The Henry Street settlement down in the Lower East
yeah.
Side of Manhattan, we raised about $2,000 for them. So I'm starting to build up. And now with my next event, Carlo put me in touch with retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert Vici, and we're going to raise money for his organization, Vet Rest. So it's such a good thing, and
Yeah.
it's a good feeling to give back, and I know
Yeah.
what you feel when you do it. And I just wanted to
Thank
make
you.
that statement.
Thank you. We just
Right,
did
right.
a show at the Hollywood Bowl, believe it or not. It was the first time I ever did a show in Los Angeles. And
What was that like?
it was amazing. It's like such a beautiful venue. I'd never been there before. But we had a lot of big names, Jon Stewart, Adam Sandler, Nikki Glazer, a whole bunch of people, John Mulaney. Because they
Oh,
were all
wow.
there for the Netflix is a Joke Festival. That was
Yeah.
So we were able to have Netflix was nice enough to let us have an event as part of that festival. So we were able to get the biggest lineup we've ever had.
Oh,
It was
wow.
amazing. Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. We made a lot of
Robert, I
money.
know you got limited time. Mary just
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
ask you one question, and then we'll cut
Sure
you
thing.
loose.
Sure thing.
And I appreciate you being here and making us all smile. I think laughter is like the best medicine. And having said that, have you ever worked with Sebastian Maniscalco? Because I remember I first started seeing him at the Miami Improv, and he was starting out. He was actually opening up for Tom Green, and now he's like he even worked in a movie with
Opening up for Tom Green. Yeah, he's
pretty funny.
He's very funny, and I've never met him. I
Okay.
actually
Eighth
we
grade.
wrote this movie Leo a couple of years ago. This was a animated movie with Bill Burr and Adam Sandler, and I'm working on a sequel now, and I actually have a part that I really want Sebastian to
Nice.
play.
He's hilarious. I love how
Yeah.
expressive he is. Like when he's
Yeah.
like that's the part that cracks me up. His facial expressions. You know, every comedian has
and his
jokes, so-
physicality on
Yes,
top of it. Yeah.
that's
Have
like
you ever
the-
seen Marcelo Hernandez do the impression of him on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hilarious impression of him.
It's funny. It's very
Yeah.
It's very slapstick type.
Yes,
comedy of
just
him,
way
you know?
over the top. It's the best
Yeah.
kind of impression. Yeah.
It's
Rob,
so funny.
Rob, I just wanted to tell you that, and to all our celebrities that make time for us, and everyone here has come on the show before, and they always step up. Just because Colonel Vici's running late, he was supposed to be here.
Sure.
I just want to tell you, Rob, that as much as everybody says thank you to our men and women for their service, I want to thank you on their behalf because of the entertainment value that you provide for so many
Wow.
years. In that, like some of our men and women are in forward areas. The bottom can drop out at any minute. So if they can go back for 30 minutes and just feel like home by watching a TV show, listen to music that they grew up with in the 80s, anything that can bring them home, because tomorrow with them is not. Thank you for the entertainment value that you provide.
Well, I'm honored to anything I can ever do. It's an honor, and I love hearing that because it means the world to me to be able to be in a business that has the ability to make people forget their troubles for a moment.
Well, thank you for that. Can you do
That's what you do, and
yeah.
I can't thank you enough for all the laughter and the continued. Could you just do one thing for me? Can I have
You can do a drop
I'm
for the
getting
station
dog
and then a
puppet
drop
back
for
on.
Chris. Yeah.
I'm putting it back on my hand. This will be just a minute.
Look at my clap.
Sure you are.
So what do you need? What do you need?
Welcome in, Tony Moran. Thank you so much. God bless you, Tony. I know you're
Hi,
tired.
everybody. God bless everybody.
Hi,
How
Tony.
you doing?
Tell me what you need. What can I do for you?
So Chris wants you to do a drop for him that you're gonna, and then I need you to do one for the station.
Okay,
Station
tell
ID.
me what do you want?
Could you just say, I'm here with DJ Booch, something like to that effect, or whatever.
Are you asking
DJ
me?
Booch?
The dog?
Actually, no. Better yet, do this. You're listening to infernal-radio.com. I'm Triumph Comic Insult Dog. I don't know anything. Do anything. Christopher, say my name. I don't care.
Infernal-radio.com.
Inferno.
Infernal-radio.com.
Inferno.
Yes, sir.
Inferno. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Triumph, the insult comic dog, and when I'm pretending to listen to something, I listen to infernal-radio.com.
And Robert, one more for me. Just say this is Triumph, and you're listening to Animal House Radio.
This is Triumph, and you've got no life because you're listening to Animal House Radio.
Got no life. That's the best.
Oh my God! Thank you so much, Robert. God bless you. Have a safe Memorial Day. Thank you for everything you do.
Robert, God bless you and your
Bless you
family.
guys.
And go
God bless
Knicks.
our troops. Thank
Go
you.
Knicks.
best.
Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Yeah.
Little
there we
tough
go.
right
Knicks. Yeah. Robert, God bless you. Thank you.
Barry,
Robert,
thank
I
you
just
so
wanna
much
tell
for
you that-
joining us today.
Thanks, guys.
If I ever missed
Thank
any
you.
triumphs over the years, my son and his friends would send me every clip.
Really?
Oh my,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. You're
Oh,
the
that's
best.
amazing.
Really appreciate you. You're awesome.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
All the best, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Barry, thank you so much. I know you're on limited time too, and I'm so grateful to have you back on. But I just want to tell everybody about Barry. Okay, so here's the deal with Barry. He is the consummate professional, and I'm gonna go back to when we first had you on in 2017. We did a great interview, and I said, Barry, would you please do a station ID for me? Okay, and this is how it went.
Can you do us a favor? Can you do a station ID for us, Barry?
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me what.
Just introduce yourself.
Call letters are.
Introduce yourself. Say that you were duty on in the Grease, and your name.
Yeah.
And say that you're listening to Animal House Radio Show on the Hamilton Radio Network.
On the Hamilton Radio Network. You got it.
Thank you, sir. Anytime you want.
You ready?
Yep.
Hey, folks, this is Barry Pearl. I play Duty in Grease, and you are listening to the Animal House Radio Show on the Hamilton. Oh, I just screwed it up. The Hamilton what?
Radio Network.
The Hamilton House Radio
Show.
Show.
Hamilton Radio Network. Okay, let me do it again. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, okay. Hey, Hamilton Radio Network. On the Animal House Radio Show. Okay, here we go. This is why I don't work much anymore, folks. Here we go. All right. Hey, everybody, this is Barry Pearl. I play Duty in Paramount's hit film Grease. I just want to tell you that I'm talking to you on the Animal House Radio Show on the Hamilton. I'm going to write it down. Don't you go away. Hold on. I'm writing it down because the 60-year-old brain and all the drugs that it took in the 60s. The Animal House Radio Show
on the Hamilton Radio Network. Radio Network.
Hamilton Radio Network. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, folks, this is Barry Pearl. I play Duty in Grease, and you're listening to the Animal House Radio Show on the Hamilton Radio Network. And remember, Grease is the word.
Yeah.
The word. Oh my God.
That was him, the consummate professional. He was determined to get it, and that's why we love Barry. Barry, thank you so much for making time for me, as always.
Nothing like coming on here and continuing to end my career. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much.
Oh my God! I just it's been a while since we had you on, and today's a very special day. Actually, I noticed you put up a couple of posts on Facebook.
I think Mike's mic is on. That's what we're hearing in the background.
Yeah, I got you. Okay,
there we go. Yeah, it is. It's a mystical, magical sort of day. You want me to tell that story?
Absolutely.
So wow, look, and Frankie's not going to be there with us, by the way. Bowser,
really?
Yeah, Bowser is. I haven't gotten a new graphic there, but it'll be Bowser, Lorenzo, Tucci, and myself. So anyhow, May 19th is very special. A bunch of stuff has happened on that day, that date and time, and initially I was going to Carnegie Mellon University, and a couple friends of mine who were transfer students from University of Los Angeles kept telling me how much I reminded them of their friend Michael Lembeck. I may have told this story on the last cast that I did with you guys, and how I looked like him and did the same roles in the same plays, et cetera, et cetera. Well, in the summer of '72, I joined the Chicago Free Street Theater, toured all around Illinois, and then over to Yugoslavia and France and Brussels. And in that company was a fellow named John Lansing. And when we were through with that gig, I went back to Carnegie to finish the second half of my senior year because they'd given me credit for being away with the street theater. So somewhere in, I guess it was February of 73, Grease came through Pittsburgh, the national tour, and John Lansing, my pal, was in it and invited me down to see the show. And I went down to see it, and out comes this guy, Michael Lembeck, who did in fact look so much like me. I thought I was watching myself. Got on the phone with my agents the following day. So you got to get me an audition for this stage play. They're going to have replacements, new companies, whatever. So sure enough, I got a call to come in for a general audition. And I little did I know that Pat Birch, choreographer, she and I had worked together in Your Good Man Charlie Brown, the Boston company, that in '67 and '68. So she was kind of in my corner. A couple weeks later, I get a call back because Michael Lembeck has broken his ankle. And they want me to come back to audition to New York, which I did. And then they wanted me to go directly to Toronto, where the cast was. And I said, I got 2 weeks of my senior year to finish. So they said, you go finish your 2 weeks, and then you'll come to join us in Detroit, which I did. So now I'm up in Detroit, and I'm rehearsing my butt off. And by the way, in that company, Travolta was playing Duty. Mary Lou Henner from Taxi was playing Marty.
Wow.
Jeff Conaway, may he rest in peace, was playing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was doing Zuko. He played Kaneki in the movie, but he was an amazing Zuko. He was actually growing up in New York. We knew each other back then, and he was Zuko back then. So anyway, I basically understudied the understudy who they threw on in a pinch. And all I did was concentrate on the role of Sonny. And if anybody else went down, then this guy, Tommy was his name, Tommy Gerard, he'd pop into that role and I get to do Sonny. So I'm like rehearsing in the wings during the show and I'm doing my job. And I go to Jerry Zaks, who was playing Kaneki at the time. Jerry is a very successful Broadway director, actually. So at that time, he's playing Kaneki, and I said, "Hey, listen, could you pretend to be sick so that Tommy could pop into Kaneki, and I'd, be able to go on as Sonny?" So, well, let me ask the stage managers if they'd say, well, they came back and said, no, they don't go for that at all. Well, about 3 days later, Saturday morning, May 19th of 1973, I get a phone call in my hotel room from the stage manager, Hal Halverson, saying, Jerry Zaks is sick. You're going on as Sonny. Now, whether I was part of that ruse, they didn't want me to be part of it. Maybe that was their intention all along for future companies to see if I'd fare. Well, the kicker and the punch to the story is that 4 years to the day later, May 19th of 1977, I was cast as Duty in the film. So that's that one. And then in 89, my mom was dying of leukemia and given 4 years to live.
Oh, boy.
And we figured, well, let's do as much as we can together. She's in the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. As luck would have it, a friend of mine was having me stand up for him at his wedding in New York. And so back around her birthday was in May.
Oh, wow.
I packed for 2 weeks and went back to New York. And the night of her birthday, her 66th birthday, she came down with what came down with pleurisy, actually. And we took her to the hospital the following day. I went to the wedding, came back. 2 weeks later, she was gone. And I wound up staying in New York for 6 months, buying her co-op, which turned out to be a white elephant. And but May 19th of that year of 1989, I was doing this particular show in which I played a guy who just lost his mother and was conned into buying a piece of bogus real estate with the insurance money. May 19th was the last time that my mom ever saw me perform live.
Oh,
and then
wow.
2 weeks later was her birthday, and then she passed away. And sure enough, I bought her apartment. $52,000 down, $52,000 no money down, 11% interest. And about a year later, my tenant was rained on as he slept. The ceiling opened up, patio above, the penthouse patio.
Oh, my God.
So, but again, that May 19th was special because that was the last time she saw me perform. And once again, what is imitating what? Life art or art life? Because I became that character who got screwed with a bogus piece of real. It was a piece of real estate that needed a lot of work, and it's right in Manhattan. I mean, it's still up and running. A lot big theater building. It's okay now, but I couldn't hold on. I actually walked away from it at the time. That place is worth over $1 million. 1 bedroom apartment, 45th Street.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Manhattan.
Easily, yeah.
Anyhow, that's my story.
Yeah, Chris, you have some questions for Barry because I know he's on.
No, I mean it's just it's amazing how life imitates basically everything.
Yeah,
and
art life.
And you stepped in it big time, and what's it like ever since then? Your life, how I know it's changed a lot since then, but what was that feeling like when that first happened? When you got that phone call?
Well, the phone call, are you talking about Greece specifically?
For Greece, yeah.
Well, it wasn't a call. We were told right then and there. What had happened was that's a story too. I had come out here on spec in 76. I contended that I shouldn't come out to California unless I had a job. Well, I was doing a play back in New York, and I auditioned for this pilot, a CBS pilot written by Alan Sachs. Alan Sachs, who created Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yes.
And it was directed by Jerry Paris, who directed every episode. You know Jerry, Mike, I'm sure. Your paths have crossed, yeah?
Absolutely. Just know from the credits. Sorry, I had the microphone on before. I just
No, that's all right.
It's all right. It's all good.
It's early out here, so
No worries.
I had to do some.
So you,
Jerry Paris. I mean, how many directed? Odd Couples, everything.
Well, he directed every episode of Happy Days, and
yes,
wow,
yes.
Yeah, I did get to meet him.
Yeah. So anyhow, so Jerry directed this pilot, and at first I didn't get the pilot. And then a week after they cast it, I get a phone call in the middle of the afternoon saying, "Get on the next plane. We want you to come out to California, replace the guy we hired." Now, there's a whole story that leads up to that is just as woo-woo, if you will. I won't go into it now if we have time. That's on my return. My
Absolutely. I just want to put it out there that Barry is the prize pupil of the Miriam Menser Dance Art Studio.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I remember that when we had his first on. But this young lady up here, Barry, is a phenomenal actor. And she's a big fan of Grease, and she's our guest co-host today. Her name is Mary Lynn, and she's a big fan, and she would like to ask you a couple of questions before. I know you're on limited time.
Let me just finish this story, Mary Lynn, because I'll let you all hanging. So I got the gig, come out to California. It didn't sell, okay? But Jerry Paris called and said, "Look, you met a couple casting directors out here, Al Honorado, Shelley Ellison, who's also named Rochelle Farberman." Go figure. She said, you'll work, come out. So I packed up lock, stock, and barrel, and he invited me to stay with his family in the Palisades. So I move out, totally on speculation. A week and a half after I got out, I went on my first audition, which was to replace Jeffrey Kramer, who went on to produce Ally McBeal with Kelly. With David Kelly.
Yeah.
So it was to replace him in the Don Rickles show, CPO Sharkey.
Oh, wow.
And,
wow!
I did that. That was my first gig, and Donnie Most then got me an apartment in the Valley. I've been living in the Valley ever since, and that was my first audition. But after the first season, they wrote me out of the series, and I went running to Jerry Paris, who was doing Blansky's Beauties down at Paramount at that time. He was directing, crying, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Listen, Barry, don't worry about this. When I was a young guy and I was on the Untouchables, they wrote me out of the Untouchables, and had that not with Robert Stack, and had that not happened, I wouldn't have gotten Jerry the Dentist in the Dick Van Dyke Show, which led to my directing career. Thank you, Sheldon Leonard." But Mike, when the light at the end of the tunnel at that point looks like a truck coming at you, you don't know, you don't crystal ball. But had that not happened, I would not have been eligible, if you will, to play Duty in Grease, which I got.
Absolutely.
One door closes, one opens. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Great story.
That's a wonderful story. That's a great story.
Thank you,
Mary Lynn.
Yes,
Mary.
Yes. So, and I really appreciate you being here. Grease is a movie that's transcended like generations. What has been your most remarkable or memorable fan interaction?
Fan interaction?
Yes. I know that's probably many.
I've been blessed to have so many. I'm sure there's one that pops out.
Yeah.
But I tell the fans too that if it wasn't for them, I mean, they keep us relevant. All the fans keep us relevant. They keep wanting more and more. Gosh, what is one that pops out to me?
No, there's just probably so many, but
That's like asking somebody what their favorite Beatles song is.
well, there's
They're
a
everywhere.
probably memorable, right?
but I they're just all so lovely.
Yeah.
It's interesting because so many come up and tell you the story that you've never heard before about how Grease has impacted my life. And you know what? We have, and we love hearing it again and again and again. It's very similar to millions. Now, I don't think I've encountered millions of fans in any kind of autograph signing, situation. But look, we played the Hollywood Bowl. We did the Hollywood Bowl with the sing-along. It's 18,000 people have seen this sing-along version that we've done. Didi Khan usually hosts it, and we've done it about 4 times. So what's 4 times 18,000? Do some math. So you know what I'm saying, that all the fans have wonderful stories, and many of them we've heard and loved.
Yeah, look at that.
We hear him again. Look at that guy. Who is that guy?
Look at that.
Wow. Look at that guy.
Hey, Barry, I remember you saying one time, and then we'll cut you loose. I would want you to stay, but I always want to be mindful of your time. But I could sit and talk to you all night. Somebody stole your water gun.
Yes.
The water gun that you had in Greece.
I had the water gun, and I have my jacket and my shoes, but I had the water gun in the pocket of the jacket, and I think I had it in a toy chest at one point. I think that it was lifted. I used to teach sometimes out of my apartment, and I think somebody had sticky fingers because I would take it out and show it, and then put it in the closet in the toy box that I had there, and I think somebody may have lifted it. So that's all right. You know, it is.
That's
what
an
it
old
is.
And by the way, my dad loves
Barry,
you.
old
My dad,
I'm sorry.
my dad liked. It's okay. I'm sorry. My dad 2 weeks ago, he was like, "Honey, can we just watch Grease?"
Oh,
So he
sweet.
loves that. So he's
Sweet.
84. He's my life. So I just wanted to say that.
That's so sweet. Thank you for that gift, Mike. What were you gonna say?
I haven't heard that expression lifted in a long time.
Oh, how do
Oh
you
my God! Right? We're showing our
funny.
age, Barry. We're showing
Yeah,
our
truly.
age.
Well, take a
God
look at
bless
this.
us.
This shows my age.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
come
God.
on, look at me.
God bless you,
So good.
Barry.
God bless all of us. We're
And
still-
Remember
thank
what
you.
Richard Pryor said about where did they get that term when he was doing that mud that one of those great things he did? He said, where'd they come up with the term "old fool"? He said, you don't get to be old being a fool. There's plenty of young fools in the cemetery.
That's
Oh,
a
my
great
God.
line, Mike. That's a great
Yeah,
line.
they stay young.
Barry, thank you so much for always making time for us. And I
Oh,
know-
my pleasure. Thank you. And
Barry,
all
thank
y'all.
you.
Yeah, and Mike, I've been a fan of yours for a long time too.
Likewise.
It was really great to
You
share.
got to
with
talk
you.
again. No, I'm telling you, inspiring stories, and I know exactly what you mean. Someday
I'm
we'll have
sure I'd love to hear yours.
share
Find
them.
me on Facebook, Mike, would you?
I don't do. I'll have someone help me do
Or-
that.
or
My
Instagram,
wife
one way
banned
or the
me.
other.
Yeah, Instagram. I definitely will.
And these guys have some contact information. on
Okay,
this.
likewise.
Absolutely, I can hook you up. Yes,
Really
If-
great
if it's
listening to you,
yeah.
hearing
Barry, thank you so
God
much.
bless.
Thank you,
You do
and
great stuff.
thanks, and listen, thanks to our troops. You know, I may be on one side of the aisle that's a little bluer than yours, maybe not yours, but I'm still very, very supportive of my troop, and so are my compadres. Trust
Yeah,
me.
what does that have to
And-
do? Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah,
it. God
exactly.
bless.
God bless all of you.
Bye.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Happy
Bye,
Memorial
folks.
Day weekend.
Memorial
You
Day.
too.
Great.
I'm
Thank you.
so
Be
happy
safe.
to have you here, Mike. Thank you again. I just want this young gentleman next to me is a legend in the music business. He's a producer. He's got a voice like an angel. His name is Tony Moran. He was one half of the Latin Rascal duo. And Tony,
Wow.
I know it was last minute. Thank you. God bless you for joining me. And it would take me hours to go through your body of work, but thank you so much for making time for us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Actually, when you have written to me and you've written to me about the various characters that are involved, I mean, the business, whatever that means to us, is so unique toward each individual. And there's just so many things, every moments in time, plus the talent, plus your homework and everything. And I'm so used to just talking about myself as somebody asking to interview me. But in the case being surrounded by other legends, which I may know recognize immediately, or if I'm just learning, it's so equally satisfying to be among colleagues and to share,
Excuse me.
you know, what makes this thing that we have special to us to persevere, I guess, over and over and over again. I'm 61 years old, and so I'm happy to be here. And, you know, I just never thought I was going to make it past 40 doing what the stereotypical type of music prodigy at that time or whatever. But having solid friends that were also musicians that also understood the life, and whether it was Nile Rodgers or even Michael Jackson or whatever, people were just like, you know, embrace it, live it, don't have to be more than it. And it's kept me here today. It's kept me here doing records, and I may not do them for the same budgets that I did in the past, like Janet Jackson or Michael Jackson or George Michael or whatever, but I do it because I love it. I do it because I will have to create until the day I die, and I don't care if anybody buys it. And I'm glad that I've been able to, you know, afford myself the humble level of continuing to do that. So for those who don't know me, I make music. I make especially dance music, which I've been nominated for a couple of Grammys for. But as well, having become a person who's contributed as a songwriter, as producer, as a remixer to this genre, then I become like what, you know, that kind of DJ that people want to go, thousands of people gather to hear me play my version of my remixes, almost like the artist and waiting for your classic. You don't want to hear the opening act. do Ordinary World by Duran Duran, where Duran Duran is going to be the main show, you know. So,
Right.
So I continue. I go around. Sometimes I feel tired. Sometimes a little harder to recover coming from Tel Aviv and then Amsterdam and then coming back to New York and having and it's garbage day and I got to throw out the garbage. But that's what life is all about. Is that, like, you know, that I have a home and I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and I made that choice to buy a house, to not have a neighbor, to be able to listen to the music if I wanted to, but not
Right.
that I have to or that I want to. And to also feel like I could walk around the community, and as a New Yorker, and born and bred New Yorker, you know, that I could just walk around and be at peace and not be unnoticed. And I think that has extended my lifespan. And I lived in Studio City, which was just mentioned, and I lived in Brooklyn, New York. I lived in Manhattan, and I loved them all. I wouldn't do anything to for it again here. But when it came to time to focus, when you get older and my ideas come faster than ever, I just can't remember what the heck they are. And so and I needed to create the environment, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where so that's
I just want to say, Tony, one thing I have to say, we've met in the mid to late 80s in the Studio 54. Louis Vega was DJing and you were there, and I was like still wet behind the ears trying to work my turntables, and I was invited up because Louis is a friend, and I just sat there and watched you two with my mouth open, like, my God, I'm watching like icons in the making, even though you were iconic then, and you signed my Latin Rascal album, and I don't know, I think somebody stole it from me, but I just want to say to your body of work is impressive, and I know you're so busy, and I thank you on behalf of us and of all our men and women who are listening around the world right now on American Forces Network. Let me tell you something. Freestyle is huge with the military, especially in the Middle East. We've had Cynthia on, we've had C-Bank, Nyasia, Deneen, and
I want to be next. I think we had this discussion, and I wasn't even aware. You know, my stepson has been in the military, and so and not just because he was there to protect our country, regardless, just to know that you're there and that, you know, I was worried on so many occasions, even if there was no war going on, just knowing that something could happen and that person would take the risk, and with the friends or the people that are around them, then you get into the mode of like, we're here and we need to do this. And so I thank him for, you know, the benefits that this country has given him and the opportunity and the education. And if he decides to finish any of those schools he's been accepted to, it'll be great for me. It'll be great for my budget. But in the meantime, I am 100% blessed, and I am an industry fan. I am an industry fan because I realize that the components are not complicated, but they require a lot. And of course, now this transcends into all aspects of music, television, video, knowledge. And what I'm so grateful for at my age is that sometimes I get paid maybe because I'm popular, but for the most part, I get paid because I show up, I'm focused, I care, and you know, I go in there with a purpose. I don't go in there ready to text whoever or know, oh, excuse me, that's my mother. Like, no, I'm there to do what needs to be done, to be able to be an addition, to be able to also to be able to say, you know what, it was my idea, but now come to think of it, it's kind of whack. And to be able just to be able for people to know that I'm there for the experience. It does not always equal success or hit or whatever, but the consistency of having that ethic, you know, to want to be able to do that. And, you know, the hits have come because I've worked on them. I never did my next hit based on the one before it. That would be too much pressure. And I would just wind up trying to copy the song before it because that is the science, right? That's why you have a sequel to Aliens. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
right.
the first time, you know, kill another couple of people, send another spaceship out, you know, they love it. You know, so
Tony. Hey, Tony.
Yes,
Tony,
sir.
you and I have spoken before. I go by DJ Booch, And
Yeah,
you know,
I
Cliff,
thought that
Cliff,
when you said the thing, I boosh, and I'm going back. My Rolodex are going
that's
like
me.
this.
That's me. You know, Cliff and I, you know, touch base every now and then. Cliff Potts, he lives an hour away from me in New York. But you and I have two mutual friends, Omar Santana and Carlos Barrios. You know, and Omar he speaks so highly about you and Albert, and Omar stays in touch with Albert as well. And he attributes everything he's gotten in life, or he's made in life, to what you both have taught him. And he talks about you guys all the time, and I just wanted to let you know.
Well, I am so honored. I love Omar, and from a very young age, because I was also at a young age. I'm only 21 years old.
Yeah.
All this stuff happening around you, and then all of a sudden you're put into this category of like Yoda, when it's just like I'm going by the feel, but I invested in myself with every passing session, with the session singers that were there, background singers, learning about harmony, understanding the arrangement, understanding what I was doing at that time that was so positive was the edit. It wasn't how fancy you could make it, how well you can make it fit in to what it is. And that's why I worked on Born in the USA, you know, and Michael Jackson History, and, you know, and Hall & Oates, because it wasn't about the fancy work. It's just that I had to feel what needed to go in there in order to extend it. And then, of course, keep and not make it about me, make it about what is going to make it an extended version of something that they've poured their hearts into. So, you know, that's been my science all my life.
Yeah.
I love everything that you do. I happen to be in a record store, and I told you about this once before when you were live with Willie. Actually, Willie was supposed to bring you to one of my shows up in Port Chester, New York last July, but you guys were stuck in Brooklyn. You couldn't make it up in time. But I told Willie about it when you were on his show. I found Dreaming of Love at Human Head Records in Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
That's one of my favorite songs from you. You know that?
You know, it's for a fan. It's one of those obscure ones. It's like, you know, it's like Tears for Fears, like the thing that he sings about his mother, the sad song, you know, that, you know, which is one of my favorite songs, but you forget it. But it winds up being for the fans who love it. You know, I just did it at a show in Philadelphia, and I spent all day trying to remember the words to it, because I remember the melody, but I'm not exactly. I'm Tony Moran, the human being, 24/7. I'm not Tony Moran studying my history, and so I had to pick up my iPhone when I was singing it. You know, when I look in your eyes, I melt me away. When I and then I just went out to everybody. If you could help me out here, I appreciate it. It's live. It's live, but it was not intended to be in the show.
Right.
It was just something. But if you do it, so since then I have studied the song. You know,
Yeah.
so
That's great.
Hey, Tony.
It's every time I have the chance to speak to you, it's always an honor, because you
it
meant a
is.
lot to me. You and Albert meant a lot to me growing up, and
Absolutely.
and just to be able to talk with you like this, it's overwhelming for me, because I'm a promoter now. I'm doing stuff with Frankie Cutlass. I've got a big show in October in Port Chester with Lizette and Sammy Zone. So we have mutual friends.
Yeah, when
What's
you
that?
can hire Tony, let's go.
Me.
Listen,
I wore a bow tie and
listen.
everything.
No, wait a minute. Sammy, Tony Sinapi, and myself, we're partners on these shows now. So I got to run everything by them as well. But I want you.
Sammy's my boy. Sammy, we would sing together. You know, Sammy's voice is so diverse that
so strong.
You know, anything that I could, and obviously he, you know, there are people. I guess I've had to consider myself to be like the Barry Manilow of Latin freestyle dance music, because I'm a singer of my songs. I'm not meant to go up there and do Rolling in the Deep by Adele. But the songs that I write and the songs that have been given to me, I want to be able to provide the character and the emotions as best I can for each one that is offered to me, or each one that I write. And so Sammy Zone is a true naturally gifted artist that has invested in himself.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I sing with people like him, and I've sung with a lot of really great singers, where I'm just like, I'm going to hold that note. Like all my mind is thinking. It's just like, whatever you call it, my serotonin is all about staying on that melody and doing it no matter what you jump in. Because, you know, natural singers to jump into harmonies that are a 19th of the note, and I'm just like, I'm gonna stay on the melody. I'm working on the melody. I'm gonna stay on track.
Well, I got you. Yeah. Hey,
That's great.
Tony, real quick, this young lady up on top of you there her name is Mary Lynn. She's our special co-host. She's a huge fan, and she just wanted to share something with you real quick.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. So my sister and you were actually one of the reasons I was able to like get out because when my sister, like when we were teenagers, you used to perform at I believe the Parallel Bar. That was a long time ago, and the Bakery Center, which is now Sunset Place in Miami, and then also like a club in Miracle Center. So thanks to you, like thanks to my sister, I was able to get out because my dad would always say, "You're not going to go out unless your sister goes." So I begged her because you were performing at the Paolo Bar back in the day, and with Promise Circle, Wilter Power. So I just wanted to say you were amazing, and I know that was a while ago, but
Oh no, I remember Miami was such a as a singer of what it is that I do, especially when it's genre specific. It's like alternative rock. It's like like Seattle rock. You know what I mean? Where it's really like a niche, but the niche can turn into thousands of people, and so it wasn't my life's desire to sing on music. I was a producer of other songs. So I had written songs by the Cover Girls called Show Me. I was recording ballads for people. I was doing all this stuff. And it was an artist named Mark Anthony that used to do backgrounds for me that encouraged me. Is like, you're singing it to me like the way I should be singing it. Like, why don't you sing your own songs? And like, nah. I'm here more to convey the expression, which is beyond the note, right? You want them to feel this and make that happen. It's not just hitting the note, because not every producer is a singer. And so it was because of him. He sang backgrounds on my first song. Anastasia is the artist, is singing on the song. Sapphire, the artist, singing on the song. And so back in the day, it was really a group effort. Like you would go into a jazz club and somebody would just bring their bass, and I would be working on a session, and then David Cole, who's a legendary part of a group called CNC Music Factory, is like, yo, I hear Rose right here in this section. I'm like, be my guest. But the love for the people that I performed in front of, it was just I just don't understand that. My biggest blessing was that growing up, the friends that I had, Little Louis Vega, and many of the people that you have mentioned, are still some of my closest friends today.
Yeah.
And somehow we have gone through various kinds of struggles at different times, but always made it a point, regardless of the high or the low, because they could all be crazy. We're all there for each other. And I knew I knew that there was never a kamikaze run in my life, that there was too much. There's too many people that I've invested in as friends, and that have invested in me in friends, or versions of myself that I can regret later. But living life is living life. You can only be the best that you are, and then you have to accept the mistakes along the way. And that's what makes the friends and the relationships that you have so much more special, because you know what it's like to lose them if you've made that error. But sorry.
And you did get my sister and I through some stuff. So thank you. It's amazing how a person in music.
Thank you.
Tony,
very nice.
God bless you, Tony. And just know that your music is going out to our men and women, and it brings them home, even if it's for a few minutes. So thank you for like I tell everybody here, all our celebrities here, thank you for the entertainment value you provide, because that makes the difference. Especially like I said earlier, that they could be in a forward area and they don't know what's going to happen 1 minute to the next. But I would love to have you back on so where we could spend more time here, because your body of work is incredible. I mean, there's so much that we could talk about. And but I know this was last minute. I texted you and you answered the call, and I can't thank you enough. I owe you one.
Oh, no, thank you. This in itself has been extraordinary. I would love the opportunity to sing to the troops, to go and also do some classics, do Alive and Kickin', by Simple Minds.
Let's set it up.
Because I'm alive and kicking, which is like, I'm a 80s fan.
Oh, you and me both, and Mary too.
Yeah.
Carlo, let's make this happen with Tony. I definitely, we could get Omar to come on and come say hello to Tony as well, and then Tony could sing dance with me.
That's it. We're gonna set this up, Tony. And like I said, thank you. Like I said, I know it was last minute, but the talent that you have is phenomenal, and the fact that you're so humble about it, it makes it even more special as a human being. And when I met you at Frankie Cutlass's birthday party, you couldn't be more humble. And you know what? And you're one of the few people, and sadly, that didn't forget where they came from.
Well, thank you. As I told you, I've been blessed. I love my people. In this case of freestyle music, for those who don't know, this was the music that I did as a boy band in the 80s. That just like Duran Duran, Hall & Oates, and all those things where you Temptations and Earth, Wind and Fire, I do that in the Latin world. And I asked the manager and the producer to let me do them again. And he was like, Tony, why do you want to do this? You already done this. You already helped to create it. You know, you're already a famous DJ. Are you looking for applause? Here you go. You want applause? There you go. And I was like, no, I want to really have the opportunity to give back the flowers, you know, to people.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to hear, Tony.
Tony, real quick, before you leave, could you do a station ID for me?
Yeah, but I've heard somebody say it 17 different ways. So, like, is it in English, Mandarin?
No. This is real simple. Not like Chris that he's got 10 different things that he wants you. I just want you to say, hey, this is Tony Moran, and you're listening to Animal House Radio. That's it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tony Moran, and you are listening to Animal House Radio. Stay tuned. Got it.
There you go. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tony. God bless.
Tony, listen, we'll be in touch, man. It was good to talk to you again.
Please exchange my numbers. As I said,
yes.
My mind is so open to try just the wonder of the possibilities. I'm in a room in Birmingham, and so, of course, the only thing about Birmingham is there are no people that do music here that I'd be interested in. So I'm alone.
Tony,
and
real quick, there's a nightclub that was in Portchester called 7 Willow Street back in the day. It closed down. A buddy of mine bought it. We're opening back up. August 15th, I got a show with Frankie Cutlass, and I'm DJing with Frankie. October 3rd, we got Lizette Melendez on there with Sammy Zone and Carlos and Omar. So you know what? I'm going to talk to Sammy tonight when we're done and talk to him about getting you up here to come do one of the shows with us. We got 6 shows planned this year. It's in Portchester, New York. I know you know Portchester.
And I will make it workable. And I would love to be able to reconnect. I want to get back with the family because it's been a long time. Sometimes when you're in, and I feel like I want to be back in. You know, so
Tony,
I would love to see the guys, and of course, the love is mutual, and the respect.
Absolutely.
To you. My respect
Love
to
you,
all
brother.
and all the people on. Thank you so much.
Tony Moran, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Come on.
And I learned how to make a bow tie today, so you guys were my first. Okay?
Excellent.
Just remember, if
Tony,
you
have a
act up,
beautiful
see
night.
here.
Happy Memorial Day.
Tony, if you act up, we're gonna get Frenchie from Goodfellas here. He's the midnight to 8 man. He's the commandant. He's gonna get you.
Look, you know what?
Just the cargo supervisor.
All I can do is learn and respect. You know what I mean?
We love you,
That's
brother.
it.
Thank you.
That's
God
the
bless.
spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ciao,
It was an
Tony.
honor.
Thank you, Tony.
It's an honor.
All right. Everybody joining us now is 3 tremendous individuals. We have my good friend and
I got an important, call from the hospital. Can I?
Go ahead. We'll get back. Yeah. Joining us now, like I said, is Mike Starr, where he will. We're going to have him back, and one of my dear friends who, when I said, "Hey, listen, we're doing this. Are you available?" He says, "I'll make myself available for you," and I almost was in tears.
Well, I'm just going to excuse myself for 1 second. I want to get a drink.
Okay. Please welcome to the show, back on the show. It's been many years since we've caught up to him, Mr. Charlie Schlaughter. And also joining us is the iconic actor and singer. You know him as he goes by Dwayne Jesse, but you know him better as Otis Day of Otis Day and the Nights from Animal House. Charlie, Dwayne, and Mike, welcome.
Sorry, I'm wheeling and dealing something.
That's okay. Charlie, can you hear me?
My wife is as you know, is a pediatric doctor over at the Children's Hospital here.
Yes.
But she's doing something for me and taking care of something. And I look up and I know I left the microphone on before, but She says, because it's one of these things, they're sending me a code that I have to send to her. So I hate to be so rude that I just kept jumping. Said one more time.
No,
For me.
that's
So I
absolutely.
apologize.
It's okay.
Charlie, can you hear us?
I can. It's a little fuzzy. Is it just my end, or is it that everybody?
A
little crackly.
Yeah, you want to come back in?
So is it just me that's coming in crackly, or am I just hearing everybody crackly?
I think it's you coming in crackly. Snap, crackle, pop.
Snap, crackle. I'll reload. Hang on. I'll call you right back.
All right. Dwayne, can you hear me? Dwayne. I guess not. Well, joining us now is this guy is like family to me, and I've only known him a short amount of time, and he's done more for me than I can ever explain, and he's done more for our servicemen and women for years, and he served his country proudly. And he's got such a busy schedule, and he's got such a worthwhile organization called vetrest.org. Please welcome back my friend and my brother, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Vici.
Nice to see you, Colonel. Yeah.
Hi, Robert.
Hello.
He's breaking up. He's all tan. He just got back from vacation.
Yeah. Rob, you have no audio again. This is like the fourth time in a row.
I know.
But Mike, I know you're so busy, and once again, my condolences for your brother Bo.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm very sorry about that, Mike.
With your permission, right now, I'd like to just do something special. If we can have like a moment of silence for Bo, would that be okay?
Oh, geez, that's so kind of you. Thank you.
All right, just about 30 seconds.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Yeah, and like I said, Mike, that every time I text you, you answer me right back, and you're just a great friend, and I'm it's always you always answer the call for me, and I can't thank you enough, pal.
Oh, that's great. I'm sorry, I keep getting this mess. I can't tell which is newer because I have everything turned off.
So I have this young lady here. She's an
so nice
actor.
of you, by the way.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I have this young lady here. Her name is Mary Lynn Farrar. She is she's our special guest co-host, and she's an actor and comedian, and she's a big fan. And she's, she was a little nervous about coming on, but I think she's settled in and she's doing a tremendous job. She's got some questions.
Doing great. Sure.
Thank you. So thank you for
answer them properly.
Yeah, no, you're great, and thank you for being here.
And thank you all for doing that for my brother. He was great. He actually. I was the baby in the family, and he was the last one left. There 3 older brothers, and they all helped raise me. So I wanted to always do the right thing. And he got me my theater scholarship at Hofstra University. After Jets practice, he ambushed me with the drama department. So he was phenomenal. Wow. Had a very full and fruitful life, and this and that, and he did great. He really did great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And how is Joanne, by the way, Mike? She's good.
Oh, she's working very hard. Super. Thanks.
Joining us now is a legendary actor in her own right, and she was our honoree today. I've spoken many times with her father. We've had him on the show for many years, and please welcome for the first time, and hopefully not after the interview the last time, Miss Rae Dawn Chong.
Awesome.
First of all, apologies for missing everything. I feel so bad, but thank you for having me, and I'm honored. I have like not a stitch of makeup on. This is like
Me neither. Are you kidding me? That smile just lit up my room. Put it that way. I remember that smile watching you in the movies, and it's just as beautiful as ever.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
happy to be here.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
I can't tell you what it is like an honor to have you here, and I'm gonna kick it off real quick. I'm gonna I know you guys all have limited time, so I'm gonna try and
But I interrupted. I'm sorry, I interrupted Mary Lynn before.
Oh no, it's okay.
Get a question. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, let her go. Mary Lynn, go ahead.
Yeah, don't be sorry. So again, thank you for being here. So there's something that I've always wanted to think about, like in the scene in Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. Like, I'm curious, how many times did it take you guys to do the scene where they gave you the wrong medication? And how hard was it to stay in character like that? Like that
All good
scene was
questions. I'm
I'm
trying to
sorry that
remember.
happened, but that was hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They didn't give me the antacids. They gave me the poison. That was good. Well, it was funny because I know I had to do when I was bigger than. It's one of those times I was up and down, but I had to do a flip back and then a fall on one thing and hold on and try to get his whatever happened. But it was funny. No, it was no big thing. It was simple enough, but it was hard to keep a straight face. I don't know how many. I'm trying to think because one time when they started doing pills are good, you know, I want to laugh. We're having so much fun.
That's so hard.
And then Jim whispers in my ear one take. Wow, I mean, I guess I wasn't Mike, but I seemed to. He leaned in. He goes, Mike, because he comes in, and he pumps my legs, you know, in with a good. He says, Mike, I'm gonna pump twice, and the third time really kick me back. Now I didn't kick him, I shoved him back, but he goes flying back. I don't know what he's gonna do. We were just, you know, we did things on the fly, and he comes back in with the Venetian blinds in his hand over me, and I just wanted to laugh so hard, you know, thinking bad things there. And then with Jeff, Jeff was just so great to be with. That was a few takes. You know, sometimes I can't remember how many takes something is, but I think we got it in a few, as I remember. But it was always a lot of laughs, you know, on and off the set. That was a great experience, and a lot of people like it. And geez, I mean, between few generations, they come up and tell me these stories. Oh, I watched it with my dad and mom. Oh, it was the family thing. Or at the time, when we were doing it in the 90s, it was a great hospital visit, especially for kids. And I glommed about 100 posters from New Line at the office and glommed them. And God knows I went places signing them and just gave them out. I'm wondering they're out there somewhere. I heard a fun story recently, someone who told me. But yeah, that was a few times. It was hard not to laugh a lot of times, you know, especially the surprise stuff or you know, the world's most annoying sound. And
oh my God. And usually with improv, like that's when you come up with sometimes like the best ideas, and sometimes the directors are going to use that and they end up using that. So that's amazing.
I think some of the only improvised lines I made were guys, I think.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you had a question for Mike?
Yeah. Hey Mike, I had two questions. I grew up in Westchester County, New York.
Yeah, my wife went to med school there. My wife went to med school. Yeah, we went from Queens to the Bronx when she got into med school, and we moved up there. Jack McGee, the fireman actor, you know, at the time was more. Yeah. I didn't know it, and it was $5 round trip on the Throgs Neck Bridge from Queens, and it was an extra 45 minutes. He said, "Why don't you come up to Pelham Bay?" And then we were there for a while, and then I think I got on the show or something. We got a little place like a Bronx-style house in Pelham Manor. Yeah. But I used to love going up around Westchester and different people. And even when I was younger, I mean, I used to go to the Capitol Theater and places like that to hear Chicago.
That's my hometown.
Harrison.
So Charlie Daniels.
I played football with a guy from there.
Yeah, Mike. That's my hometown, Port Chester, New York.
I love Port Chester. Those are the places I go up and say, man, I'd like to live there someday.
It's a beautiful town. I still have family there. I have family in Greenwich. But I had two questions. Well, the first one was, I grew up, and there was a gentleman by the name of John Starr that lived in White Plains, New York.
Okay.
Did you have family in White Plains?
So my dad, I'm half Polish. My dad's parents were Polish immigrants, and he lived in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And the name, my real name, there's a lot of Brits, I think, with names, and people in the Old West or whatever, the name Starr with 2 R's. We come from different places. I don't know where theirs come from. But mine is Vyezda, or the Ukrainians say, I think, Zvezda. And it's and it was a translation. It means star. So I guess my dad put 2 R's on and put an extra R. I think I was asking for our roots one day years ago, and I said, "How do we get the name Star with 2 R's?" He goes, "Never mind." I said, "Okay." I think he thought the Russians were still after us or something. Whatever. He didn't like to give up too much information.
John's family spelled it the same way with the 2 R's, but All right, well, I'll get off of that.
That's all right.
Listen,
My
you always
oldest
type
brother,
K-
my dad's name was John Starr, and my oldest brother was John Starr. My son's name is John Starr, but
Oh,
all
wow.
different middle names, so they weren't juniors or anything. But
Yeah, got you. I listen. Throughout your career, you were always typecast as like a tough guy, the gangster type.
I don't know about
And-
that. I mean, that's the ones you like. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that, but there's been different things. It's just it depends what you see. But yeah, I know casting people. A lot of times people see that, especially when I talk like myself. But you might be surprised.
No, but you know what? I didn't even realize you did a Law and Order SVU, right?
I did about 4 of those. Yeah,
Yeah, and you actually
bad cops, everything.
the one that I saw, you were a gentle guy. You were a gentle giant, and it would. When I lived in Manhattan, I used to see them filming it all the time. I used to stop and watch because I lived in East Village, and it was so cool to see you on there. I smiled. I was like, "Oh, geez, look at him!" And it just you did a
I've
great
done a few
job.
like that, Mad Dog Glory. Trying to think the Law and Order you talk about because I don't know one of them.
You played a nice guy. I think you were a nice guy in it.
Maybe the pilot I did a
remember,
little thing, but I did
Yeah.
I did a little thing in the pilot. I think I played a truck driver, but
Yeah.
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 But
That was
I
great. That's all I have, Mike. Because you know what? I asked all my questions of you back in December.
That's okay. I just feel bad Ray Dawn's on here, and I feel like I glommed into her.
Oh, it's really good for me to listen. I enjoy it.
I should tell this, but it's real name dropping. But my friend for years, it's a great story. He's Michael Jordan's right hand man, right, in life, and it's a great story how they met. It's crazy, and he's most trusted guy. And Michael Jordan's I've had lunch with him a few times, but he's a big Law and Order fan. So one time my friend George tells me, says he goes in the room and he sees me, and Michael Jordan says, "Hey, George, come in here. You guys on here. Your boy's on here. Mike's on now." So it's funny to be called Mike by Michael Jordan, my friend George goes, "Oh, finally, he's playing a good guy. I was a detective," and he goes, "Stick around." And I was turned around.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
So
Like,
I guess
your
I've played a
body of
few
work
bad
is
guys. They say sometimes where I would play a so-called bad guy with a heart.
Right.
But you
Hey,
know,
Mike,
your body of work is amazing, and every time I see you
Kind of you to say.
on TV, be it a movie or a TV show, it always makes me smile.
I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
that. Thanks.
You're welcome, sir.
I'm tearing
You
up
really
now.
are.
Come on.
See, what a lot of people don't realize is, and I know we have spoken about this on the phone. Does it bother you sometimes that you get stereotyped into certain roles?
Frank Vincent, God rest his soul, used to say to me when we were working together, he goes, "Someone asked me one time, Mike," he said, are you tired of being type? Do you not like being typecast?" And he said, "No, I don't like being not cast."
Right. It's all about the
It happens.
paycheck.
I mean, size and different things. And when people know you, like you talk like yourself in an interview or something like that, I have funny stories about that where where it either cost me a thing or I changed. I don't know. It depends. But funny things that happen in interviews. But it depends. But there's people they push, or that's why you have representation. Wait, we're giving. I've had casting people and other people or other actors recommend me or say, no, I saw him do this, so no, give it a shot, And Kevin Kline did it for me years ago when I had done something, played a redneck in Maryland with this specific accent we were doing, and he recommended me. I was just starting out. I was in this a few years, but it had already been cast. It was on Silverado. But he went way out of his way. I remember I was living in Queens. He called me up and he said, "There's a casting director, Wally Nacita. I've recommended you." And it was by that. But it takes people to know you. What you're known mostly for is, different things. Like, and it's funny, people say Goodfellas. He was an air cargo supervisor. He was just a lovable thief.
Right.
Who enjoyed himself. With all the research I did, he was like, "Hey." And that's why I played it like that and up like that. And but in Dumb and Dumber, it has so many great things that have come of that, and being able to do things with people. Once in a while, some young person, it'll bite you in the ass because they'll say, "Isn't he a stand-up comic?" or something like that, or he's in the. I don't know if they'll take. I had I might as well tell this one since because he was telling such great stories before about crazy things that happen in casting. But I remember I was in Chicago, and the head of the Illinois Teamsters, I hope this doesn't sound too self-centered or narcissist, but the head of the Teamsters, I mean, my big thing is when people from certain lives and worlds tell me that they felt that was real. That's important, because to me, it's all make-believe, you know. So, but he said to me, and he came up to me, and he was very complimentary. He's the head of the Teamsters in Illinois. He said, listen, if they do my life story, I want you to play it. I said, I'll take it. Thanks. And then sure enough, a week later, I was in on something as the guy who was the head of the garbage contracts or something like that, and dealing with the mayor. And it got this crazy call from my manager saying, well, it happens once in a while. Some young person, and I think they might have been from Europe, said, I don't think they'll take him seriously because he's a comedian and he was in Dumb and Dumber. And it's like, what can you do? And the great casting director, I'm trying to think of a name. She just did that wonderful show that Michael B. Jordan was in, and Sinners, you know, and she cast that. And she said, do you want to see footage on him? And the crazy thing was, the Farrelly brothers and Carrie said they wanted me in Dumb and Dumber because they didn't want to stand-up comedian. Not that comedians can't act like that. There's great stuff. But they said they wanted a guy that had played what you said before, played some bad guys. And I tried to play it like that, maybe amped it up a bit. But it's funny. Sometimes, what can you do? What can you do if there's someone that's making decisions? You just do the best you can.
That's it, brother.
Your faith is something else than, you know.
Mike,
I'm talking too much, Dawn. I'm sorry.
No.
We're
gonna get to
on
that.
My decaf tea is kicking.
This is what you get when you're late.
No.
I was late too. No,
what you're listening to, Ray.
I completely forgot. I thought it was canceled, and then I
No,
I
apologize.
And I had to do some things, Ray Dawn, and I if that's all right to say Ray Dawn, right? Because that's the way I know you. Great, I love it. So this and respect it and your work and everything. And I came in a little late, and I was just listening to these great stories, and I said, "Oh, I'm half out of it. I hope they don't ask me too many questions. I'll be pretty boring." And all of a sudden,
well, you're on a roll now. Please.
I know,
you're lucky, Ray Dawn, because
I don't
we had,
know what happens to me. I had a massage today, and I was half out of it. You know, and getting all these airplane trips out of me and staying on.
I remember the first time I texted Mike, or I called him on the phone. He said, "Can I call you back? I'm getting a pedicure."
Don't bother me now. I'm getting pampered.
That's right. I had to say, yeah.
What exactly, you guys? What exactly is this? Tell me, because I'm looking around. It's AFN, which is American Forces Network. So
Yes,
it's a military thing.
So our show, by the grace of God, over the past 10 years has been syndicated by that. So right now, our show is going around the world, roughly what about 3.9 million people are hearing
That is
this.
so great. Congratulations on such
Yes.
a
Well, you're lucky you're late, Ray Dawn, because we had Triumph, the insult comic dog, and he might have not been so nice to you.
You know, it's okay, because if you can't take a joke, then what are you doing standing around?
Right.
Exactly. Right.
I think it's a gift of humor to be roasted, although officially I've never been roasted or done stand-up, but I really do admire it. I think it's an art, and I think that you got to take your lumps. If you take yourself too seriously, then you're kind of a joke.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
we
truth.
have, let me introduce you to my two
wait a minute.
co-hosts.
She's got a pity.
I've got
Yeah.
2 kitties, actually.
Oh my word, I love you even more.
So,
I'm
Ray Dawn,
a pit bull mom, and I literally will go ballistic if anybody is breedism against my dogs.
oh my God. Well,
It's
I want
if you
to.
want me to be really grumpy, say something bad about a pit bull, and I'll just go
Yeah,
off.
that's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Sweetest.
So let me introduce you to our co-host tonight. This beautiful young lady above you is an actor and a comedian, and her name is Mary Lynn. She's a huge fan of yours, and she's been so excited to meet you. And also, guest host is Christopher Buccieri.
Hello.
That's my
hello.
pity, Ray.
Aw.
Oh, I see. I know when you're a pity person, they take over
That's
your
the
life.
That was in Central Park when I lived in the city, but she's no longer with us.
I know. And then
Hey,
they died.
Dwayne, stand by. We got you. We got you now. Just
All
hang out.
right.
Hang out for a few minutes. That's Otis Day from Animal House, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Otis, all right.
Yeah. So, Charlie, I'm not ignoring you, my brother. I wanted to say hello to you and thank you for those beautiful words that you said. That, yeah, you're
Hi,
the Honey Nut,
Charlie.
the voice
Charlie,
of the
where
Honey
are
Nut
you?
Cheerio.
Where are you?
Who,
You
Otis?
look
I'm home.
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
your booth. You've got a good booth.
Yeah, he looks like an Al Qaeda outpost. So Ray, let me ask you. I want to kick off the questions, then I'm going to turn it over. I just have one question for you. I'm a huge fan, and I know you have such an amazing body of work. But I got to say, my most famous, my favorite movie of yours was American Flyers.
Yeah, that was fun.
You know,
I was
I mean,
a baby.
you're
I
known
was
for
a
so much
baby.
more.
Sorry?
I said you're known for so much more than that. But
No, but
it was,
American Flyers was a beautiful film to shoot because it was by Steve Tessich, who did Breaking Away, and Breaking Away was an amazing
Oh, I
movie.
love Breaking Away.
So
Great
then
movie.
American Flyers was his sophomore. His freshman movie was Breaking Away, and his sophomore movie was American Flyers. And so that movie was extra special to me because I was a big Breaking Away fan. And then to get that film and then get paid to run around America following a race and doing all that we did. And we learned how to do obviously the wheel change. I mean, the only thing I have like 7% Native American in me, so I wasn't one of those bad casting things. I actually am Asanabe. I'm Asanabe from Winnipeg. I do have Native blood, but yeah, it was a great job. My son helped me get that job.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, my son, because my son was very beautiful, and I didn't have a babysitter, and I ended up bringing him. He was three years old. Sorry, my dogs are now wrestling in front of me.
I babysat pit bulls, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
a lot.
God, you
But,
eat them for
my-
breakfast, right?
My son is the reason why I got that movie, because my son jumped up, and it was Wallace Nacita, that same
Yes.
casting person.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And my son jumped up onto John Badham's piano and asked about a helicopter. But of course, he was 3, so he said helicopter. And
Oh,
John
my-
was so charmed by this beautiful child. And I promise you, that's why I got the job.
Oh wow! So my one question to you is, and like I want to have you back on when we can devote more time, but I want to ask, coming from a famous, having a famous dad in show business and everything, was it a no-brainer for you to get into entertainment, or did you find the love of it on your own?
Well, first of all, I was in films and television before he was.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, because I was 12 when I made I was 12 years old when I made my first film for Disney, and he was nowhere near. He was doing records. He was like at least 7 years away from doing his
Oh
first
wow!
Wow.
I didn't know.
I
that.
actually jumped it. I jumped him on that. And then, like, for instance, it was because of me that Cheech was able to get Bruce Springsteen's phone number, because I was working on the Color Purple. These are these weird little tidbits.
Oh, I love those.
I was on the Color Purple, and I got a call from Cheech saying, "Can you ask Quincy for Bruce Springsteen's phone number?" And of course I could. And I got the phone number for Bruce Springsteen. I got him Bruce Spring because he wanted to do Born in East LA, but he needed permission.
Oh yeah.
Born in the USA. And so that was also, but that's not in the new documentary that my sister produced, which kind of bugs me a little bit because I feel like that was a big career thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I actually did films on my own, and I was discovered at my 6th grade graduation at Wonderland Avenue School in Los Angeles, which is this really famous now it's a magnet elementary school in the middle of Laurel Canyon. So I grew up with like Carole King's kids and Wayne Shorter's daughter, Miyako Shorter. I had
Oh wow!
I knew Maya Rudolph was an infant when I first met her because my stepfather used to play music for her. His name was Gordon DeWitty, and he used to play Hammond organ, and he knew, like, we had Sly Stone in our house, and Shaka Khan, and we had all Leon Ware, Bobby Womack. I mean, I grew up with the whole other side of the show business that my dad had nothing to do with because of my mom and our exposure. So I had like this huge show busy from both sides of my family. My uncle is Floyd Sneed, my mom's brother, and he was the drummer of Three Dog Night, and that's my voice along with my other cousins on Joy to the World.
Oh wow, really?
That's a
10 years old. So I've always been around music, and music was my first love. Although I didn't know how to play an instrument, although I play a little bit now, and I think what I tell all the young kids who are coming up or people that I mentor, I always tell them have skills, go to school, learn a language, learn an instrument, just have a lot of skills. Because I unfortunately was just adorable and charming. And even though I did okay, you just need a lot more skills to lean.
Wow.
Ray, you got to forgive me. I'm cracking up, man. The dogs are upstaging.
I know.
My dogs?
They're upstaging you right now.
No.
I know, because they're so noisy. I'm sorry. And you know what?
No, don't
I push them
apologize.
out of the room. They'll just bark at the door.
So this young
Hey,
lady above you, hold
I've
on.
got a quick question,
Go ahead,
Carlo. I have a quick question. Commando, what was it like making that movie with Schwarzenegger?
Well, he was a little bit handsy, to say the least. I was, 8 weeks in a car with him. I mean, I've got a book. I've been working for the last year and a half on my memoir. So I'm looking for publishers. So if you guys know of any publishers who would be interested in the Radon Chong memoir, let me know.
Absolutely.
And I'm working really hard on it because I want to make it fantastic. But working with Schwarzenegger was fun. It had its moments, and but he was handsy. I'll say that. And I worked really hard to get it. It was a problematic script, but I'm funny and I knew what to do with it. So it was one of those moments where I saw the material and I saw the opportunity that it would give me to shine in a role that was. Shh, can you guys just stop?
They're upset because they're saying, "How dare you not pay attention to us?"
Yeah.
No, the thing is, they were just laying on the bed really quietly. So.
Okay.
And I can't stop.
That's okay. Don't apologize. That's that's so.
No,
cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's memories for me with my dog. I love it.
Having dogs, and I've got two of them. I've got he's 100 pounds and she's 70, and they're very cute. I got to tell you, I'm grateful to have my animals.
What are their
They're
names?
5 years old. It's Lulu and Augie.
Oh wow. So the gentleman who just asked you the question, he's one of my co-hosts, and his name is Christopher. And this young lady above you is an aspiring actor and a comedian. Her name is Mary Lynn, and she was so excited to be able to speak to you today.
So Mary Lynn, you're a stand-up.
Yes, I do that sporadically. I got to get back into it. So I think.
So, what was the thing that inspired you to stand up in front of an audience and be honest and be funny? How you must have some nads. I mean, anybody who can do that, you got to be really powerful.
Yes, I'm just crazy in a good way. I just wanted to just go up there and just up my game and just kind of like do something that was completely out of my comfort zone. And even though I do other things like acting and things like that, this was like on a whole other level. And I was very nervous doing it, but I said I got to do it, and I liked it. I always get nervous when I go up there, but it's like excitement with nerves.
Yeah.
She always says, Ray Dawn, she says normal is boring.
Yeah, I think normal is. I mean.
And so, where originally are you from?
I'm from Miami, Florida.
Okay. Oh, wow, Florida.
It's starting to get humid now. The older I get, the more annoying humidity gets, but it's beautiful. Florida is just beautiful. The weather's just awesome, pretty much.
Is that why everyone lives there?
I think so.
I just moved down here and I love it. I went from New Jersey.
I'm originally from Westchester, moved to Manhattan. I'm in Connecticut now.
Okay, where?
And Newtown, Connecticut. Do you remember? Well, I hate to say it, but people remember Newtown from Sandy Hook.
It was right near Sandy Hook. I know the first responders there. Yeah.
Yeah, we knew one of the little girls that was unfortunately taken. Oh. And it's a shame. And we moved up here from Manhattan in 2005. I love it. It started out, it was just all farmland. Now it's people from New York, Long Island, they're all moving up here. And,
do you guys remember the Boston Bombers?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the day that they were looking for them and they were in the boat and all that day I had to drive from New Hampshire into Boston. And you know what it's like to drive in Boston. It's impossible.
Oh, right? Boston's a nightmare to begin with.
So they had closed the streets. But I and my friend, who looked, by the way, like one of the bombers, we were driving into the city and they said it's closed, but we still just went anyway because we had to go to the Four Seasons for something that was still going on. And the streets were empty. it was like I thought any moment like an AD was going to come around the corner and tell me to get ready for a shot because the entire city was on lockdown to find those bombers.
Oh my
I was in my office in Stamford, Connecticut when that happened, watching on the conference from TV.
What was that? Watertown, wasn't it? Up in Watertown.
Yeah, they
I
found
think
them
so.
in a boat in somebody's. It was just the whole thing was so sad and tragic. So, Dwayne, where are you coming in from?
Hold on.
Can he hear us?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Dwayne, you're out in California, right?
Yes.
Yes.
How was your day going? And
It's doing a lot better now. I finally got through.
Oh my God, that's too
why
funny.
was it hard to get through? Just because you?
It was crazy. Plus, I'm not really a technical kind of guy. So I had my grandchildren help me, so they think I'm an idiot. So that's what I was dealing with. But
we lost.
There you go. That's what he gets for, that's what he gets for calling his grandkids an idiot.
That is hilarious.
Carl, don't say that.
No, I'm kidding. Ray Dawn, Mary has some questions for you. She was so nervous to meet you.
All right,
that-
go ahead.
And thank you for asking me about my.
I admire you. You're like my hero. Is that from Dwayne that we hear?
Yeah, I got it. I had him muted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Temporary.
wanted to ask you, you've worked in some incredibly iconic films, such as Commando, as they mentioned, The Soul Man, Color Purple. I did want to ask you, when you look back, did you realize at the time that those movies would become like a part of pop culture history? Because that's pretty
No.
right.
No.
Right.
Like I just found out the other day that Beat Street was used by the East German government to dissuade the East German teenagers to, reject hip hop. They showed
Really?
Wild Style, and in the Eastern Bloc of Germany, they showed Wild Style and Beat Street as a way to dissuade the youth from getting involved in hip hop. And that to me is the most spectacular news, right? That's when you're like so happy you're in a movie. When it gets used like as counter programming for propaganda, like anti-propaganda, and it of course backfired. It just made all the kids want to be breakdancers.
Right.
So I'm happy I'm in that movie. And then Commando, it turned out, was the Commando and Rambo. Rambo and Commando were the only films. Commando and Rambo were the only films that in the jungle above Cambodia on the border of Laos, where the Golden Triangle is, there used to be this, I don't think they're around anymore, and certainly they're older, but there used to be this army of young children, and they were super violent, and the only movies they watched were Rambo and Commando, and these guys were super violent and they would murder everyone, and this was in the Golden Triangle. So I thought, wow, if I was ever on a trip in Cambodia or Laos, they would see me and go, Cindy, and I'd be safe. So I have to appreciate movies and being famous for that reason, like weird stuff like that,
Right.
Wow.
You get pulled over, or somebody will stop you in in some outback, and they'll just look at you and you think you're done. You think, oh God, I'm finished.
Right.
And they'll say, like, they'll call you by a character name, and it's the greatest. That is the one time when I really love fame. Like right when you think, oh damn, we're gonna get eaten by a hippopotamus, some native person will swing by and go, I loved you in Beat Street, or God, you were great in, Interview with the Vampire. I mean, you never know.
I know.
Right.
I mean, now I have gray hair and I don't look like I did in the 80s, but
No, you
you
look
look beautiful.
still look good.
No.
Yeah,
Like
he's looking
fine
good,
wine.
kiddo.
right,
No,
right, honestly.
Look at that.
Yeah.
there I am.
No, that smile's never changed.
That's
Still
it. You have
$1 billion
that.
smile, I remember.
Ray Dawn, let me ask you. In Beach Street, you were, I don't know if it was just a role you were playing. You were like doing a musical production, a dance production type of thing. Was that just a role, or did you have?
A conductor. I was a
Right.
conductor.
Did you have formal training in that, or was that just a role?
No, in fact, no, would you fucking shut up? No, no, Ab, you gotta stop. He's just like, stop talking.
He wants camera time.
Jennifer Drops.
I didn't train for Beat Street because I was on another film called what was it called? City Limits with John Stockwell and John Deal. And I was on that film, and Andy Davis, the director of Beat Street, the original director, he said, Radon, you've got to come to New York and play this role. It's not a big role, but it's the girl. And I said to Andy, I turned it down, and because I was filming and I was really sleepy and it was exhausting, and we were doing nights and I was not going to be able to jump on an airplane. And he begged me. He said, please, Radon, do this movie. Please, please, please. So I said, okay, fine. And I ended up going. And then 7 days after getting the job, so I had no time. So to answer your question, no, I had no time with the script, no time for anything to even breathe. And I get there, and 7 days later, they fired him.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was the only reason why I did the movie, was for the Andy Davis, who had done my first film, and then he went on to do The Fugitive. And it was one of those awkward films where Harry Belafonte should have hired his daughter Gina Belafonte to play the role, because it was obviously kind of written around like her, but because it wasn't a name, and I was working a little bit, I had done a bunch of stuff, and I think I had done Commando, maybe, I don't know, but it was a mess. He got fired. I had to stay, and it's always really hard when you're on a film, and then the person you're on the film for gets fired. It's like it's kind of fucked up. But
Right.
Oh,
Because
wow.
you need them. You need each other. That's
well, no, you're on the film for that person, and then they get nailed, and then you're stuck with these other people who are kind of like, I don't know. It was rough. Anyway,
Chris?
sorry about it. So sorry about this.
No. I'm just sitting in awe, just listening to you talk, and I still can't believe I'm looking at you in person here.
I know it's been. Well,
the
we met
camera.
actually years ago at a juvenile diabetes fundraiser years ago, and you couldn't be more gracious and sweet. And just what you see is what you get with you. That's what I like.
At the same time, I'm like punching pit bulls.
Mary Lynn, did you have another question for Ray Dawn?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is there one lesson that the entertainment industry taught you that nobody warns you about, like when you're starting out? Or
hold on just one second. I'm going to kick them out.
Of course.
You guys gotta go outside. Out.
They are so cute.
Charlie, you're not mad at me, are you? Because I'm so happy you're here, buddy.
Charlie's like, wait, what? You're talking to me?
I'm just happy to be alive. I'm okay.
How's everything going? Are you? There's still the fires over there, or?
Yeah, they're still cooking pretty bad. So we're just kind of keeping a close eye on things and seeing where the wind goes. We're just sort of like right in this little sweet spot of no evacuations yet, where everyone around us, every other little zone, they're gone, but we're like right at the foot of where like the natural preserve is. So we'll find out. If the wind starts going south, we'll get out of here. But we're not. This isn't our first rodeo, Carla. We've evacuated a couple times. The Woolsey fire hit us pretty hard. We lost a lot of stuff in the yard and things, But listen, at the end of the day, it's just stuff. And one of those things, being evacuated, is sometimes just one of the greatest things that can happen to you. I'm not a total Pollyanna, but I do try to find the good in everything. And honestly, being evacuated was one of those things where you go, okay, it's just stuff.
Yeah, right.
Charlie, are you related to George Schlatter?
I'm not. And
But you know who that is, right? The comedy guy?
I know exactly who he is. Yeah, it's tough to be a Schlatter and not know George Schlatter. But yes, he's such a wonderful man. And what's really interesting is that he actually looks like my dad.
Isn't that weird? I know.
Yeah,
isn't that funny how that is?
He's such a great guy. And I will say, because I was listening to Mike's story earlier about his name, Star, it wasn't until I met George Schlatter that I found out what Schlatter actually meant. My whole life, my dad, Freddie Schlatter from, the Lower East Side, always said, yeah, Charles, it means butcher. So there's like Schlachter, which I think means butcher somewhere. So my whole life I always thought, I'm a butcher. And I thought I could live with that. That's okay. But then George said, no, I'm gonna send you a book. So he sent me this book of Schlatters. And unfortunately, Schlatter means of the marsh. So I found out I'm like a bog child. And so
Chongs in China were 5,000 years ago were people who dealt with horses.
Oh, okay. Well, and that's got to be a hugely common name, I would imagine.
It's like
China.
Smith in China.
Well, Schlatter in Austria, same thing. It's like Smith. So in Austria, everyone is a Schlatter. They're all from the bog. So, it's swamp people.
I think we're all from the bog.
I know, right?
So you wanted to ask me about the show business thing? It sort of depends on your plumbing. If you're a woman, you have to really take care of yourself and create boundaries. And one of the things I learned is that just remember everything, write everything down. And if you get that icky feeling, don't go into the room, don't go into the audition. Agents are pimps. They're not necessarily for your highest good. So don't trust them implicitly. Have that spidey sense and talk to your people that love you if you're a youngin', whether you're male or female.
Right.
And I always tell like the boys, especially the young, beautiful boys, I always tell them, look, it's you're not safe from sexual assault. And so the main thing is just keeping people off you, in a healthy way. And then also too, I tell people today, I tell people, especially globally, I tell my global fans and mentees, I tell them to stay where they are because the business has changed. Hollywood is no longer centralized in California.
Right.
And you can be involved in creativity anywhere in the world if you've got the riz, if you've got talent. So I tell them, finish school, go to therapy, organize your skills, and then upload yourself on every platform that you can, doing the best that you can. And then also you got to burn for it, but don't worry about coming to Los Angeles or New York anymore.
Which was the norm at one point, right?
Yeah, one of my acting coaches.
I mean, everybody had to come to LA at a certain point, but that's all gone now, which is sort of exciting. Like I'm doing a show in Vancouver. It's a remake of the Charlie Chan series, and it's with it's a 90% Chinese cast, and I'm friggin' stoked because I did Crying Freeman with a mainly Japanese cast, and Mark DeCostos. He's a mix. I like being in the Asian world. I wish I was, next life I'm going to come back as a perfect Asian princess, 100%.
Okay. like Mulan?
I just think, I love K-dramas. I love C-dramas. I'm obsessed with Pursuit of Jade. I mean, some of the directors and I think, especially Korean films, I loved Parasite. I loved Decision to Leave. There's a lot of really good material and filmmakers coming out of Asia. And I just love it. I mean, there's some bad ones too, of course, but that's everywhere. But I like how the industry has blown up and really good filmmakers, because I vote for the Academy. So I see everything. And there's really good filmmakers from every part of the world. Africa, Iran, everywhere. There's really good filmmakers. So I think that's exciting.
I remember.
Do you know the show? Was it the lawyer with autism? Now I'm going up on the name.
Yeah, I loved it. It's called Incredible.
That's one of my favorites.
Miss Wu, the Incredible Attorney Wu. It's so good. Have you guys seen that one? It's a K. The Incredible Attorney Wu. Sorry?
I've been recommending it for years.
It's K television, K dramas. They're on Netflix. There's some really good ones. Pursuit of Jade is right now. I'm obsessed. It's so.
What about the one when she falls out of the zone and winds up in North Korea, and she's like a big advertising?
I haven't seen that one, but I did I'll See You in My 19th Life. Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, honestly. So I'm excited about the future, and I think that I love the fact that Hollywood, especially the studio system, is completely fucked. I think it's excellent, and I'm really happy for everyone else, and especially because I've never really been in the system, and I'm really happy for everyone around the system that it's being blown up and it's cannibalizing. And that's always a good sign, because it makes opportunity where there wouldn't have been before. And The people that
Yeah.
have been the powers that be, they're boring. A lot of the material, a lot of the content that's coming out of America is very central, European centric, and it's just masculine and like a sexuality that's really retarded. It's just like almost like, as we say, pedophilic. So it's really nice to see European content with mature sexuality, with the casting choices being really diversified, and not just as a tokenism, but as actual a thought was put into it, you know.
And I did want to say, one of my acting coaches a long time ago, he told me, for you to make it ever, you have to move to to California. It's not like that anymore. Like you were saying.
No, you don't have to be here at all. It's
No.
like you have a good. I always tell people, make sure you have a really rich home life and a really rich inner universe, because that's what they're hiring. Go ahead.
I think, Mary, to what you said is, it's a little bit false. I do think that, and with all due respect, I think a lot of times you do sort of have to be here to begin with. You know, unfortunately, there are so many casting directors now who don't get out of their own little comfort zone, and all they're doing is they're looking on Instagram to see how many followers you have,
Or
how
young
many
people.
likes you
Yeah.
have.
That is very
And that's, so yeah, so what Ray Dawn was saying is true. You could get as many likes and live in, Timbuktu, and that's fine. But I do think, because I feel like there's so much laziness in that community, they're not, it used to be like they would go to a play. They would actually leave their home and go to a comedy club. They would do stuff.
I like doing that, going and seeing.
And
I think New York is still do
live.
that.
I want to see a play live. I don't want.
I don't know. I don't. The casting.
Well, I think
director
a lot of people. I think a lot of the shows will, like, for instance, only cast British actors to play American,
Oh.
because they know they've got the chops, and they know they can.
They're
probably,
so good.
and they're very
so
good,
good.
and they're
They
very
also
white,
kiss their ass.
and they're very white. They're
Yeah,
very
and they also kiss their ass. Yeah, that's true. No, that's
So
perfect.
a lot of the work has gone to the Brits who play American.
Well, look at
I was a
what's
New
her
York
name?
holdout.
Yellowstone. Kelly on Yellowstone. She does a wonderful job.
Oh, she's
And now the
British,
British-
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, she's British. She does it. You wouldn't. I never
They do
even
standard
knew.
American well, I guess. But there's also a kind of inferiority, I think, of casting directors where the floodgates open when they walk in. They're like, oh
I
my
think
God.
it's fair. I think. Listen, I think you just want the best person for your job, for your
Yeah,
show.
that's fine.
Casting is everything. Casting is like 80% of it.
Sure.
You cast it well.
I agree. I think casting is everything. But how many times have you been told, every actor in this booth here, how many times have you been told, I'm so sorry, Ray Dawn, but it's not always the most talented person that gets the role? How many times have you lost something to someone because their last name is something other than, you know what I mean?
Well, I was
Because
gonna
I think
say,
that happens
it's
as well,
actually,
too.
you're right. Sometimes it takes a lot of political acumen to do well in any sector. Let's face it.
Right.
Sometimes it's the guy who can organize, who can suck up and brown nose all the big. I mean, my career would have been ginormous had I done a couple of moves.
Of course. And I'm
but
sure
I
you watch
did it 'cause-
TV and say, oh my God, I know 1,000 actresses that are better than her. How did she get that? You know what I mean? And you're watching someone who's maybe not up to snuff. And that happens a lot, I think. I think casting is just sort of lazy these days. Or it is, like you said, political, or I don't know. I just don't, I agree. I don't think it's always the most talented person that gets the role anymore.
What do you think about self-tape? Like I like going to actual auditions, but if they're gonna just do self-tape.
No, I really love self-tape because I
Okay.
like to travel. So
Okay.
I have an RV. I
Yeah.
drive everywhere. I am always on the road. And now mind you, I've only gotten like 3 or 4 gigs off of self-taping, but I really like it.
It's comfortable.
Because I friggin' hate going into a room with a bunch of people waiting in a hallway because it's
Yeah.
really unnatural. I hate the imposition of it, of driving and parking and dressing and
Yeah.
usually here if
And
it's in
sometimes
LA,
the way they look at you like.
Well,
yeah,
you know,
it's
for
like,
that,
and,
but-
Ray Dawn, I think it's also that the nice thing about self-tape is that you create it And
Yes.
You have total control.
Sometimes you get
Yes.
really
Complete
total
autonomy
control.
over
I like
what
it
you
both.
want to
Sometimes you
present.
get really bad advice. I can tell
I
you.
like it. And then I do
Yeah.
a thing where I find the old footage and I realize, oh my God, I can't believe I presented
Yeah.
that. And I actually think sometimes my agents don't present it. They just say, oh, it didn't
Yeah.
work out because they just protect.
Whoa.
Because I
Really?
sometimes, yeah, because
Wow.
sometimes because I have body dysmorphia, I never really realize, that I'm as chunky as I am, or I think sometimes I probably delivered really shitty stuff. No, it's true. And
We're our
it's
worst
not
own
because
critic, so
well, it comes from a place of just knowing that sometimes we just don't know, like I'm just at this point at 65, I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm very comfortable. I like what I do. I love running around the world doing I do these incredible adventures, and
There's no way you're
and
65.
then they're like, wait on, you've got to read these 5 pages for Oprah's company or something. And you're going to get $6.50, and I'm probably not going to get it anyway. But so, I'm not going to like bust a gut. Now, if you said to me right now, like there's a couple of directors I would like to work with that I haven't and probably never will. And if they called me, I would jump through fiery hoops, like, Ryan Coogler or, Denis Villeneuve. I mean, do you guys have a list of people you would die to work with? I have like my wish list,
believe it or not, I know this may sound a little off, but one of them would be Ryan Murphy. I don't know, he's just very
No, Ryan Murphy's incredible. He's
love
really
him.
good at what he does. Yeah.
For me, it
That
would
would
be
be-
Scorsese.
Yeah, Marty's great. Before he dies, because he's getting really old.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's usually pretty not pigeonholed in his genres, but he just seems to be. Oh, there's so many people that I would love to work with.
So many.
Let me, Ray Dawn, let me ask you if when someone comes to you with a script, what does it have to have in it for you to be like to grail? Like, I mean, obviously the paycheck is always is important, but what does the script have to have for you to say, okay, I want to do this?
It's not just my part. It has to just be interesting, and it has to be. The whole thing has to have a vibe. I like to feel a tone. I listen for tone, and I like well written things. So I like things to be well written, and I like them to have a musical. I like. It's like listening to a song. A really well written script has a tone and it has a vibe. A really well-written script has a vibe and a tone, and I look for the tone. And a really poorly written thing is never going to get better, and it has a bad tone, and it's just like and I don't care how much money people give you. If it's shite, it's shite.
Charlie and Mike, what is your
tell right
thoughts
away.
on that? Yeah. What is your thoughts?
Well, I agree with Ray Dawn. I think the same thing. You listen to the whole piece as a whole. And the tone is set from page one. Who is that? Is that Dwight and his dog?
It's it's the
I got
Freeway
it.
and Jesse.
Yeah.
But same thing. And I don't think paycheck necessarily does matter, Carlo. I know that's like a nice thing. That's always the bonus.
Right.
But yeah, we all have to make a living. That's the truth. We have to be compensated for what we do. But I was going to say earlier, it's just unfortunate because in this day and age, I think there's only these big movies, and there's no middle class.
Right.
There used to be like Soul Man, I think, was probably like an upper middle class movie. It was one of those strong movies that we gave a shit about, that had great actors, that weren't necessarily the top of what. But right now, that doesn't exist anymore.
And you're right, Charlie.
So many actors made a great living doing that. There were so many journeymen who were such wonderful, wonderful actors.
Yeah, we all got to work. We got a nice living. It was a nice living, and it was also fun. There was some really
total
fun. But you know what? It's a lot of it had
meals.
Oh yeah,
The tent pole movies really cannibalized the independent thing. And then
they don't even have a pole anymore. They can't even afford the poles.
It's what you said, Charlie. It's either a studio film or it's a guerrilla filmmaker, a guy with a GoPro camera.
Yeah, it's either if you're not doing a Chris Nolan movie, you're doing a Chris Jiganuts. You know, you're doing some.
When you ask what I look for in a script, someone asked me one time. I said I look for a good caterer and craft service. I said that's really quite crucial. You know,
that's why working in Jersey or New York is always the best.
But it has to have a heart. A lot of times, so there's different things. Not everything is perfect.
I just did a movie. I just did this movie. And I can't. Okay, of course, now I can't remember the name of it. But I play an accountant. I was in because I've been writing my book in Baja California, and Mexico. And so my friend, who's the producer of this particular film, he said, "Renan, it's like a day. It's like a couple hours, and it's on Zoom because I played the. It's about a young rock star who's very addicted, who live streams her suicide, basically."
Oh,
and so it's this, and it's so well written.
Where can we see that?
I know it's coming out. You'll hear about it because I think it's going to be really big. Okay. She live streamed all the way to the end and to the death, and it's fantastic. And I loved the script. And then they cast this beautiful actress to play the star, and she's a star. And this movie's going to make a lot of noise. And I got to be her accountant. So I show up as the accountant on Zoom, and I was like, yes, because I just want to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I'm so happy. So it's not a question of like how big the role is. Sometimes it's just a question of just being a part of the bigger, grander thing.
But isn't it also a lot of time now while I'm involved with people, you create your own a lot of times, and you work with people that you want to work with, and you create things, and whether it's theater or films, and sometimes you got to step out on your own. I've had. I
don't even think at this point for me personally, I'm so intrinsically lazy in a way. I've written about stuff, I've sold stuff, but there's a part of me too that I go, I don't know if people need to see me that much more. Now I love.
No, it's not about being seen. It's
right.
Unfortunately. As Sam Jackson told me a story one time, and I've used the line on people, and he was telling me on when they were doing in Brooklyn, some kid was going to say, "Hey kid, I wasn't always an actor. Fortunately, I live in a lot of different worlds, and I come from a few different worlds, and since I'm from a project in Queens, and my kids lived in the United Nations place, and that the work my wife does, you do different things in this world, and I've been in a lot of places. I've been lucky." And I shunned summer theater when I was getting a scholarship to run programs in the projects and be all over the city. And you take that, but I like creating, people kind of find me, or they call me up, or they say, would you get involved with this? And it's got a heart, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's I like doing whatever, and sometimes it doesn't matter you're the good guy, the bad guy.
Just make sure they don't give you the wrong medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's funny,
hey, Charlie.
You were talking before about being stopped and people recognizing you. I've had nice things like that. I've gotten out of trouble, but I also was almost arrested one time by. It's a story I'll have to tell you another time, Carlo. Is that the Treasury agents, the Secret Service, not Secret Service, it was it's a crazy thing that was connected. It was in the mid 90s, and it was in Vegas. And it's a funny story to tell them, but I was on too much of a role before. But I've had like people either, sometimes when you're a character guy, subliminally people think that you're that person. So it was pretty funny. And the guy rescued me at the end of it because I was almost taken away.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
The whole story in a hotel in Vegas. I was out with my son, going to see a friend of mine was coaching. But one of the nice things that happened was in Tuba City on the Navajo reservation. I had a thing happen.
I've been
you've been there. Did you do Stars in the Desert there?
No, I just have driven through that part of the world.
I have friends there, and and the Hopi were very good to me too on the other side. But I've had different friends from different worlds, including Canada, people you mentioned up there. But I was standing. We were doing this nice thing, and it was a big thing. They allowed me in a circle in the drums. So we were doing this event, and in the movie The Bodyguard, I'm gonna have to use the F word because it's a funny ending, where I run out after this big battle we have and this and that, and I run out in this crowd, and I come the wrong way and I say, "Where's the fucking limo?" So that was my big line, right? Well, anyway, there I am in Tuba City, and my wife is in the hospital, involved with the people involved. It's all these cool things we would do, and I was part of this thing. It was for the screening of something, and I had friends there. Well, anyway, I'm standing there, and someone taps me on the back. It's not always a fun thing. I turn around, there's this 12-year-old, and she was Navajo, and she had this beautiful shimmering blue dress on. And I turn around, and she taps me, and she looks at me and goes, "Hey, Tony, where's the fucking limo?" I was like,
oh my God.
Whoa, this crossed a lot of worlds, that line. And I didn't know what to say to her. So I said, "I'm glad you love the film." And then we had a nice talk after that. But movies reach out, and it was a sweet film too, and a lot of great experiences with people like Whitney and Bill Cobbs and friends of on that. But you never know where funny things come, and you connect with people, especially in different worlds and hospitals. Yeah.
Mary, you had a question about Funny Farm?
Oh yeah, so my dad and I, we watch Funny Farm every year on Christmas, just like Family Stone. You know, there's certain movies you just watch during the holidays, and we just love you with the whole moving truck. Like,
Glenn
so,
Plummer and I.
yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you were just so pissed off. You're over it. You know, the map and the
I'll do
whole
that well,
thing.
hopefully.
That was great. And he's like, "Listen, we haven't eaten." And it was just, I think that part was phenomenal.
Well, the director was George Roy Hill, who did The Sting and Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid. And he was in the Marine Corps in World War II, and he went right to the Abbey Theatre in Ireland and studied. And he was a fascinating man. And Redford and Paul Newman, they did a great tribute to him.
You cannot see her.
No, it was a lot of fun. They bless her. Something happened there. I was ready to hit the floor.
I got you.
Yeah.
Mike, Chris is actually a big fan of that movie. He's always referencing Funny Farm with Chevy Chase.
Best. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Some
you
good
were
people
just.
on it. It's a nice experience. You know what they did? They tried to shoot in sequence. We were up in Vermont and New Hampshire, and they had some uncharacteristic for the time rain really hit. So they were trying to do the changing of the colors and everything, well, it backfired. We had a California crew mostly. We had a couple of New York head guys and that were there, but all of a sudden these California crews were going around with spray paint and spraying because the leaves changed way too soon. But something about Ray Dawn saying before about things were fun. I've had situations sometimes when I would go back to New York, go places, and guys who were younger than, crew, because I hang out with Grips and Electric and Teamsters and friends of my neighborhood guys. And they'd say, "Mikey, we don't laugh like we used to, Mikey." And I said,
because they're not getting paid. They're not getting paid.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
We created, a lot of people take themselves, what you were saying before, way too serious. And that's part of it.
Yeah.
And some
Mike, can I ask you a question?
Anything,
when you did Funny Farm, were there a lot of laughs on that set?
Me and Glenn had fun. I'm trying to think because we were kind of separate from it. If anyone knows, we were the movers from the Bronx who brought it up. So we had some interesting time. Hey, we had 3 weeks off from the rain. Producers weren't happy about that. And I said, "I'm not making that much money that you have to be that bummed out." I said to the guy.
Right.
But
no, the question you want to ask is, was Chevy nice to you?
Everybody's nice to me.
I didn't want to go
there.
there.
I'm only kidding. Chevy, what a story. I love what you said about Schwarzenegger before. He was, there were times that he was, I'll tell you that he was very handsy on me.
I think Chevy's famous for being grumpy.
I've heard that he's not so nice in certain instances.
He has he's got personality Tourette's. He turns into an absolute dick.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And I don't think it's I think he literally has something I think he's got
It could be. There was some things he did, and
you know what I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I do. Well, he did a weird thing one time when we went up to rehearse in August. And I remember, I might as well tell the story because it happened. And there was this older man. He was out of the theater, and he was playing the wacky sheriff in the town. And what I remember, he did this thing, and he really was theatrical, and he was trying to do this thing hey, and he was doing this great thing. It was very funny. He played a funny guy who drives the car and he can't drive and all this stuff. And he did his lines. We were just rehearsing. And Chevy turns to George Roy Hill, it's his master, and he turns and he said, don't you think that's a bit broad, George? And instantly I'm saying inside myself as the character guy, please, don't be another, if we're going to get another star-driven thing here where he's going to run the show, in seconds it's going through my head like, oh God, what's going to happen? But you were dealing with the man here, with the guy.
Although
George
I have
Roy
to
Hill.
say, I have to say, sometimes I do like when an actor, you'll do a take and they'll look at you, and it's kind of a joke and it's kind of honest, where they'll say, is that how you're going to do it?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But no,
It's
that used to be an old thing.
You
an
know,
old school
I actually
thing, but
think
no,
it's
this is
fair.
different. No,
Is that how you're going to do it? You're like,
Well, no, that's funny. That's different. That's an old Hollywood old school joke from the people I worked with that came out of the 50s. It was very funny, but that was respectful. No, this I thought was actually kind of mean, because this guy was not. He was a scale actor that was out of the theater. He was trying his best to do something, and this is the way I feel. I might as well be honest with it. So he said this. Chip said, "Isn't that a bit broad, George Roy Hill?" And what happened was George, he had a way of just thinking and listening and waiting. And I said, oh boy, who's going to run the show here? And he just looked over and goes, not as half as broad as the shit you're doing, Chevy. And I went, okay, we know who's in charge. Yeah, and that was, so I tell that, so I don't tell it much, but since you asked me, and since you said that thing about it can be funny, no, I thought it was actually mean, and it was a bullyish to do something like that. I know I'm hypersensitive, but I'm into the underdogs, but I thought that was wrong, and he straightened it out. He also would try to do all these takes when you were doing things. We had funny things. I mean, I got along fine with him, but few things about driving, everything. Anyway, I'm talking too much again. Sorry.
No, that's
to
fine.
answer you honestly,
go ahead, spill the tea on Chevy. I think Chevy's already famous for being difficult.
Well, no, but not only that. What I'm saying
they
is,
should give him a CAT scan and find out if he's got like.
No, but it doesn't matter. I mean, but it was so interesting the way I thought what George Roy Hill did, because I thought it was disrespectful. He did a few things, and I mean, I can take care of myself enough, but sometimes I just play Frank Renzulli, the best Sopranos writer, Frank Renzulli say, Mikey, sometimes you got to play Mickey the dunce, and you just you're the dumb guy, you're the big dumb guy,
idiot. Yeah.
and you play not as far as village idiot. No, sometimes you got to be the stupid one that just nods. I learned from training with certain, especially humble people, Koreans and Chinese. I learned that. Oh yeah. The Japanese, oh, you're great, you're wonderful, and I know.
Oh my God!
Hey, Mike.
I go back in years with people of different backgrounds and cultures. I've been lucky.
Mike, when you showed up in the movie, when you showed up at the house, and you guys were supposed to start packing up the truck, was this one of the lines when Chevy says he called you a cretin, and he said he just called you a crouton? Was that one of the lines?
No, no, you think of a different film, yeah.
Yeah.
My brother worked on Fletch, by the way. Did a fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Fletch movie was good. That franchise was good. Yeah.
Charlie, I've been dying to ask you this. Your background is theater. You started out in theater, right? So that's inherently more difficult than I believe just doing regular movies. Did that give you a leg up when you actually did regular movies because you had that training under your belt?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I think so. Number one, theater really teaches you how to play nicely with others. I think you learn to rely on the other actors a ton. Because you're all in this show together at the same exact time. You're not always on the same stage, but it's like, okay, you're on the bench while I'm on the court. So, it's a team sport, and you're really there to support each other. So in that regard, you become, I think, theater people are some of the best people to work with. They're the most giving. They're the most generous. and they're just wonderful to deal with. You know what I mean? I think also having knowledge of theater is great. Anything you learn is going to help your craft. But yeah, I totally think so. I think it's a discipline where you're ready at all times. You're ready to improvise. You're ready to, look a person in the eye and just be there with that person, because on a stage, everything disappears. You don't see the audience. You see the person you're with. You see the people you're with. And to me, that's what it is. I just, I always just try to look into the eyes of whoever it is I'm working with. And the shame on those people who say, I don't know. I just, I'm with you, Mike. I just don't think there's any room for bullies or any of that, like star attitude. I sort of hate that. And because I've worked with some of those people before,
really?
that have been above me. And
also theater, there's eight performances. You got 2 matinees, right? 8 performances.
True.
So you're theater, you're just going and going and go, and there's no room. You're exhausted, I think.
Are you going to name drop?
You can't say cut. You can't say cut or this and that.
Charlie, you going to name drop or what?
No. But
no, I'm kidding.
But with
Charlie,
also the other thing, Radon, is that you have all that rehearsal time too. So that's where you're in boot camp. That's what that is. So it's not even just the performances. Think about it. From the second you're cast in a play, you are with these people in that trust circle, and you're doing all those fun little theater games to get to know each other and to grow to love each other. And as opposed to a movie, hey Charlie, can you be on set tomorrow and do 5 lines in a thing with it?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's not as personal.
No, it's a completely different animal. I remember.
Fulfilling.
Did you ever do Sundance Lab? Did you ever get hired for the lab?
Yeah, I did that in 1988.
Yeah, I did it.
And Sigourney Weaver's husband was the director. His name was Jim Simpson. I worked with John Mahoney. And it's a long story, but I played tennis with Robert Redford, but that's a whole
No, you have to tell the story, because Sundance Lab. So Sundance has a program where they take like 6 scripts. Projects. And then they hire real actors who are working to come and live for 10 days as these young budding.
In Provo.
Yeah. At Sundance. And
it's
at
outside
the
of
ski
Provo.
resort. Yeah. So they take you and they put you up in these incredible cabins, and you get on this campus. And then the creme de la creme of Hollywood are your camp counselors. And these young, new, or they're not always young, filmmakers get to make these 8 pages or 10 pages with real actors.
What year or years did you do it?
I did it a couple times. And my camp counselor, the last time I did it was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, wow.
And why I'm bringing it up is because I did it, and he was my camp counselor along with Harold Ramis. So I ended up spending a lot of time with them, and Taika was up there. Taika Waititi was one of the directors. My director was Stu, and it was this piece about a family in the 70s in Los Angeles, a Black family in the 70s, and Deborah Wilson was in our piece, and Bob, of course, was walking around and being Bob. It was so much fun. But Philip Seymour Hoffman was so helpful. It was right before Truman. So whenever that was, he told me, he says, I think I'm going to win every award for being Truman Capote. He knew. But I asked him, I said, how come I know he's really good. I knew he was really good, and I respect him incredibly. I was so excited that I got to hang out with him. But I said, Philip, did you just, how is it that you are who you are? Like, tell me what you think it is. Because he's like this schlubby guy, but he's so fucking good, and he's always good in everything. And you know what he said? And this is so valuable. He said, Radon, I am a theater director. I run a theater. I run a theater. I care about actors and stage setting and things. That's what I do. This other thing that they hire me for, I don't even think about it. And so because of that, he doesn't have that he never had that desperate thing.
Yeah.
He's just fucking good. And so then, because his heart and his interest is about running that theater group that he runs or ran.
It's the detail. It's all in the details.
Isn't that interesting? So
yeah.
he felt that his success as an actor came from the fact that it wasn't his gig. That's not that wasn't what he did. He can act, but it didn't define him. It wasn't the thing that woke him up at night. It wasn't the thing he thought about 24/7. What he thought about was running a theater, running his actors, his directors. I thought that was so telling.
Right.
Yeah. And I think every actor needs a hobby. I mean, they do. You got to
Sure.
get out of the house
That
and
to
do
me, what it
things
caught me was that
Yeah.
that's what I tell all the youngins. Like,
Get
have
a
a
life.
life.
Have a life.
Yeah.
Bring something to the party. That's all.
Mary
you know?
Lynn, did you have some questions for Charlie? And I
I-
feel so bad because I feel like he's slighted, but he's a really good friend, and he's a Jersey boy like me. And like I said, I can't thank you enough for saying that you'll always make time for me. That touched my heart, Charlie. And you know,
well, listen, on Carlo, you made time for me when I was raising all that money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and
Yeah.
you came out to Jersey to see my little show.
Absolutely.
Honestly, that touched me more than anything, and I'm forever
And
indebted to it.
I'll do it again. I will do it again.
Thank you.
I'm so touched to meet him. I was on my phone just looking at everyone's credits. It's so cool.
Absolutely. So, Chris, I want you to chime in. You have any questions for Charlie and you and Mary?
Oh
Lynn?
no, I'm just thrilled hearing all this. I'm good. I'm thrilled to hear it, Charlie. Well, I understand. And speaking with Carl earlier today, you were the original Fry on Futurama, huh?
Yeah, it's fired.
Oh wow.
Billy West, that son of a bitch.
Hey, listen, you're nobody until you've been fired. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I was fired once.
We've all
I was fired by Norman Lear.
Oh, there you go. That's a great firing. That's a great one.
I heard what's his name said he used to have a John Amos and him were butt heads.
Not John
Well,
Stamos.
I wasn't black enough, and they went with Janet Jackson when it was
Oh,
for
boy.
Good Times. I got fired for not being.
Good
I wasn't hood enough.
Wait, but you're the same skin color.
I get that same
No.
critique all the time.
That you're not black enough.
No, I'm not black enough.
I'm sorry, Mary Lynn, you had a question?
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you. So what was it like working with George Burns and Dick Van Dyke?
Very handsy. Those guys were very handsy. I tell young Hollywood all the time, look out for those old guys.
Oh my lord.
That George Burns, he's a real horn
100
dog,
I
right?
know.
Van Dyke.
Especially Burns, man. Honestly, George Burns, just the greatest human being that ever walked the earth. Just such a beautiful man.
Yes.
And
You can
it
tell.
was, when I met him, it was like meeting Santa Claus for the first time. You're going to do this movie with him. You haven't met him yet. And your, agent or whoever took me to his office. And when you arrive at the office, you smell it. It's like, the cigars, there they are.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, so it just added that one extra dimension to him. Like, you knew you were going to meet him. And then you go into the office, and there he is sitting on this tall director's chair, drinking tea out of a mug that said God. And I thought, this is so perfect. And he said, "Is that the kid? I'll take him." And from that moment, he was just so sweet. He was flirtatious with my mom, sent us Christmas cards until the day he died. He was so great.
Oh,
and
wow.
then cut to several years later, Dick Van Dyke, who was very similar to that. Same work ethic, same joy. Everything about him was, that's, people always say, "Oh, what did you learn from those guys?" And they never sit you down and say, "Hey, listen, this is how the..."
Right.
Never. I think you just learn because you're in school. Every time you're with those guys, you look at them and watch them closely, and you say, is there joy in this business at the age of 70, 80, 90 plus? And there is, and there can be.
Right.
Depending on how you work things.
Was it fun, Charlie, with Dick Van Dyke? Because even though that was a more serious role, was he like the kind that would break you up in between?
Yeah, nobody. It was like the more serious the scene, the sillier we were. Always, no matter what it was, no one took ourselves seriously, and we did well. Like for 8 years or however long, we were always like the number 2 show that night because we were always up against Friends or something, cutting edge. And we were like Mike said, it's so nice to be a part of a movie or a show like 18 Again or Dying that people would watch with their families, with their grandmothers, or that it meant something, that somebody was going through cancer treatments and turned to that. It's nice to be a part of that.
That's so beautiful. What a beautiful
and we knew we weren't
thing.
curing cancer, and Dick was the first guy. It's like 9 to 5. Hey guys, it's 5 o'clock. Let's pick this up tomorrow. Okay, boss.
Right.
George was like that.
We all had a life. We all and I think Mike, Victoria Rowell might have been on. I'm positive she was on Dumb and Dumber. A woman I worked with on that show, Victoria Rowell.
She's Toronto. She's from Canada. She's fantastic.
Is she? Yeah.
What did she play in it? Because the Farrelly brothers were great, but all their friends, the college.
She was like a detective or something like that. She had a
sure.
She directs now, and she's really amazing. She was married to one of the Wynton Marsalis boys, I think. She's really pretty.
Not married,
she was a detective that catches. She goes after. She has to quiz.
Yes, and she had a son with Wynton named Jasper.
Yeah, and she has to go after Jeff
who looks
Daniels.
Exactly like Wynton.
Yeah, that
was.
Yeah.
I just have to.
I just want to make one statement, Carlo. One statement.
Go ahead.
The history in the resume that we're sitting here with everybody from the beginning to this point now tonight, and I did this with Carlo and Mike back in December. It just blows my mind, and I'm so honored to have this chance to meet each and every one of you.
Hey, do you know the movie Zelig, where Woody Allen just shows up in places?
Yeah.
Sometimes in life I feel like that, but sometimes on films, I'd be the guy standing next to hearing something that shows up in a documentary. But the funny thing was, it's crazy how I got the Natural. It was one of the first films I did. I was doing a show that closed in one night, a Broadway show. It was great off Broadway, but I wound up clowning around at the tryouts because I can't play, and he wound up putting me in. So anyway, I was standing around there. Then cut to like a month later, I'm on the set, and Redford comes, and he was like one of the classiest human beings ever, and he did so much. But we were just talking about everything, and I felt like in Zelig, he turned to me and goes, I really want to do this thing. This is 1983. He said, I want to really start. And he starts telling me about his idea for Sundance and what he was starting to do. And he said, I really want to give filmmakers, young filmmakers. Years later, I go, hey, Robert Redford, talk to me about that. Wow. And, it's like I'm standing there hearing him say that.
I'm telling you, the whole experience of doing the lab, and then, of course, the festival, it was just the blast. I mean, it was one time I was late to they have these meetings because it's like going to camp. And I was late to a meeting, and I hear a motorcycle, and it's coming behind me, and it was Redford, and he goes,
"Oh my God!"
On. He goes, "Hop on, Ray Don," and the whole time I'm holding him, I'm thinking, I'm holding Sundance. Like it was so exciting.
And you got to work with Harold Ramis too, who was awesome.
Well, Harold was one of our counselors, so I got to hang out with him. The thing is, you don't really work with them, but they're with you, so you get to ask them a million questions. And I'm watching. I'm halfway through the Marty Short documentary on Martin Short.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that. Yeah,
it's really good, you guys. And what I love about it, and what I didn't know, I didn't realize how damn close all of those guys were with each other. Like it was like a gang. Harold Ramis was part of it, where they were second citying.
That was great.
I always loved Harold Ramis. I thought he was a genius.
He was a wonderful.
Well, can I tell you something? What he told me, because of course I had to ask him as well. I always ask these weird questions, but here's my strange question. I asked Harold Ramis. I'm like, dude, your first script was Animal House. That's insane. So I feel like with that kind of success, he must have been a writer or something that maybe wasn't that successful in a past life, because in this life he could not lose. Like think about his career.
Right. He was a National Lampoon writer.
Yeah, he was a National Lampoon with Judd Kenny, but his first script was Animal House. I mean, that right there. And then they did
iconic movie.
Groundhog Day, and then he did. I mean, his credits are so insane. And he told me he did feel like he was just born under a star of prosperity.
Absolutely.
He was very kind. I gave him a gift. I gave him that book, Germs with Metals, and you know what I'm talking about, about how things happen in the world. Guns, germs,
Hey, Mike.
metals. About. Let me just finish. It had to do with. It had to do with revealing so much prejudice and race towards different peoples, and how some people got to be some groups of people around the world got to be more prosperous. It's really interesting. So I gave it to him. When we finished, he went, "Oh yeah, I read it." He said it's great, because he was a real, very open humanitarian, a very kind person who was he was out there. He was really good. He was just nothing but generous and kind. And I think he did a New York group. I don't know if he was at Ace Trucking Company too, but back in the 60s, and he would tell me about some of the things they would do, some of the skits and whatnot. But Guns, Germs, Man, you got to know that book is really, really special.
It sounds interesting. Yeah.
Involved. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm getting low battery. I'll probably have to jump or something.
Hey,
do you have a battery?
Hey, Mike.
On the iPad.
Hey, Mike, when you were talking to Redford, did he say that son of a bitch?
It's right up a certain spot that keeps me going.
Hey, Mike, when you were talking to Redford, did you say that son of a bitch Charlie Schlaughter beat me in tennis?
So, did I ever tell you that story, Carlo? It's not even much of a story. It's really horrible. But so we were working on our scene. John Mahoney, the late John, a wonderful guy.
John, I worked with him. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, the bet. And it's another young actor at the time, J.D. Cullum. We were the three guys. Anyway, Bob, on the motorcycle, he comes, checks everything out. And he says, because we were having a party at his house, at his ranch or wherever. And he says, we're getting together tomorrow at like 11, but I want to get in a little round of tennis beforehand. Did any of you guys play tennis? And I said, yeah, I play a lot of tennis. And I had never played tennis in my life. So he said, okay, great. We send a car for you at 10 or whatever.
Oh my God. You had never played tennis?
No, I had a gay aunt who I used to watch play tennis, and she was great. I feel like I was just gonna act like her.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so I get picked up, I'm brought over, but that night I went into Provo, the town right in there, and I bought I spent all my money on a beautiful shirt, a racket, the whole thing. And we started volleying a little bit with two other people, and right away he said, "Charlie, You've never played tennis before, have you?" And
that is the one sport, because I play tennis. I play on teams. I haven't.
You're on your own. You can't hide.
Well, no, because you could tell immediately by how someone's grip. You could tell so much just by walking
I knew nothing.
up.
I just knew I was running more than anybody. And he
Oh my
said,
God.
Charlie, or he said, "Have you played?" Or I don't think you've ever. I don't know what he said. It was kind, and I said, "No, sir." I'm like 22 at the time. I said, "No, I've never done it." And he goes, "Well, why would you tell me that you were?" And I said, "Because I just want to be able to tell my friends that I played tennis with Robert Redford."
Oh my God, that makes
Especially my
sense.
mom, because
I would have did the same thing. Yeah.
So anyway, so we volleyed and we got through it. It was fine, but he was a great guy. Really quickly, one of the movies they were working on, I just remembered, the original script was called 2000. And it was the working script for Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
This is what we were working on. And it was William Devane.
It was called 3000, actually.
Bill Devane and a girl named Pam Gillies. Those were the two people that were hired to do all the scenes and stuff. Elizabeth Pena was there that year working on something. Fell in love with her. What an amazing actress. Fisher Stevens was just, Ray.
Fisher, I know Fisher.
It was one of those great
it's just really a good experience, and a lot of people have done it, and a lot of people we don't get to talk about it because it's almost like an inside business thing.
And all his friends would come and speak at the movies. You had Alan Alda, Carl Malden,
the top, the creme de la creme of the business.
Yeah.
Well, that people don't realize that De Niro for years down at Tribeca would develop scripts. And you can't believe the people that showed up, and I actually got stuff from it. But Keith David, myself, Eli Wallach.
What
and
a
we
great
were
man,
Charles
Keith
Durning.
David.
Yeah, it's my
I like
friend.
Keith David. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Guys, I got to put up a video real quick of one of our celebrities that sent in a video, and then I'm going to do one quick question for each of you, and then I'll cut you loose. And because I know you guys have given me more time than we asked for, and I'm so grateful. But this is from our
with this group here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, Mike, it's always you're my friend. This comes in from Shannon Elizabeth because she couldn't make it to join us tonight. Let me make sure I get this up and running here. Where is
Hey
it?
everyone, it's Shannon Elizabeth. I am so sorry that I couldn't be there with you today as you gather to honor and remember those who dedicated their lives to protecting our country. On this Memorial Day, I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of our servicemen and women and to hold close the memory of those who gave everything. Their courage, dedication, and selflessness will never be forgotten. To the veterans, military families, and loved ones with you today, thank you. What you carry and what your families carry alongside you means more than words can ever express. Wishing you all a meaningful and peaceful Memorial Day. Stay safe, cherish the people around you, and take a moment to reflect on those who gave so much for all of us. Thank you.
Oh, well said.
Hey everyone, it's Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh, that's it. That's
I
it.
am so
Her battery's going.
Too bad she's really let herself go.
Oh wait, how do I get out of this now? Okay,
That
there we
was
go.
funny. That was funny.
That was good. Oh, all
It was
right.
beautiful that she did that, but Mike, that was funny.
Yeah.
Whoever said that, was it Charlie? I don't know who said that.
One of those wise
tell by
Alex
my
kids.
accent.
One of them.
Yeah.
One of
them threw a zinger in there. Pow!
Any final questions for these esteemed
It
guests?
was me actually who said the
Oh,
bad
okay. So, okay, Mike, most fun set to ever work on. We had the most fun.
I'm sorry. I hate it answering something. I can tell you that anytime I bond with people with laughter, anywhere, in any cultures in the world, and I have to say, I'm lucky. I mean, Goodfellas, all I did with Scorsese was laugh, and he would test me on trivia and everything. But De Niro, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, that was fun. There's some things you wouldn't even know maybe that I did. I mean, I did these A&E movies with Gene Wilder, and they don't come any better than him.
Oh,
he was
wow.
kind, and I've been lucky to be with a lot of different guys. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't like to be on any sets if you're not laughing and having fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, like just like now, you can
Just-
laugh at yourself. And
Laughter's the
I don't
best
know. I'm not answering you. Yes, well, one Zen master said laughter is the best meditation, but I don't know how to answer. I hope I'm not being elusive here. There's
No,
if you
no.
name something, I'll tell you I had fun on it. Usually.
Oh, I'll tell you what,
I find a way.
You got it, like just like everyone else here. You got an amazing body of work. But you want to know what my favorite
lucky.
movie of yours is? The Deli.
What is? Now that was fun. But like
happened
Ray
to
Dunn said
Carlo?
about casting, they
Got rid of
miscast a
him.
couple of people that would have been. So yeah, that was a lot of laughs. Jerry Stiller. I
Yeah.
cast Jerry Stiller in that and Heavy D. I
You know-
brought them on the set.
Oh, how do you keep a straight face with Jerry Stiller?
You know what, Mike? I used to see Jerry all the time at New York Health and Racquet Club on 56th Street.
Right, I know
A
what
family
that is.
member. I call him uncle, but we're very close. And the person who owns it is like an uncle to me. And I had free reign to go to any one of them. And I used to go to 56th Street and used to see Jerry Stiller all the time. Sweet as pie.
Oh yeah, and
The
I work with
nicest man in
also
the world.
and Mara. So, and they let
Yeah.
me do bits with them too. So, and we had to
Oh, wow.
improvise on the deli together.
Wow.
So, and I had to get
That's
technical
that's
advice
royalty
from the,
right there.
And
No,
I had
I
gambling
had-
advice on that one.
I had watched it the other day because it's not like a great blockbuster movie, but it's just hysterical. And I'm watching Mike because I'm a big fan of his personally
my
and
research
professionally.
with a
So
friend of mine in
he's on the
Brooklyn.
barbecue grill and he's got the headphone in his ear because he's trying to see because he's got the bet on the game. And the girl is like, "Do you have any seafood?" He goes, "Yeah, come back later. I'll catch a marlin in my spare time."
That was improv. That was 18 days. Burt Young. People don't realize how sharp Burt Young was. I mean, he was a legitimate tough guy. When I say that, because so many people claim, I mean, he was the real deal, but he was such a wonderful actor, but also speaking, he spoke to young people all the time. He was a really interesting person.
You have to be
He
really
was my
sharp.
neighbor. Burt Young was
Really?
my neighbor. Yeah.
Oh, so you must
And
have
he was
loved
super
him.
shy. He was super shy, and I was 15.
Yes.
Was he
I had
handsy?
Really?
apartment when I was 15.
Was he handsy like Schwarzenegger?
No,
Stop
he
saying
was,
that.
he
No,
was
never.
shy.
Don't
He
say
was
that.
shy.
No. Yeah.
I'm
And
kidding,
I
man.
always felt bad because he was just starting out as well, right? So, and then he became
Wow.
famous, and I was like, "That's the guy that lived down the hall from me." It was so fun.
Mike, you want to
That's a
know
great
something?
story.
I've never seen that movie, but Carlo was telling me about it the other day
Yeah, I
on
gotta talk to
Saturday.
Carlo about it.
Matter of fact, I'm going to make sure I watch it this week because it sounds hysterical.
It's one of those
So-
films. Well, there's some things I think could have gone other ways, but it's one of those films that I've had a guy from Russia stop me in Grand Central, the head of
That's
White
funny.
Sox security, and it's one of those things that people that, especially that got in that world and gambling, things like that, they relate to. But there was also, now I'm thinking that I play a guy, a degenerate gambler, lives with his mother, and a lovable guy, right? But I'm trying to think of a name because she did stuff with Cafe La Mama. She did like really
Oh,
radical
I know who. Yeah, I know who
political
you're
stuff
talking
in
about.
South
Judith
America. I mean,
Molina. You guys
yes,
had
Judith
Ice-
Molina. Good call. Thank
and
you, my friend.
Ice-T was in
Ice
it.
T, yo, I
Yeah.
had laughs with him.
Chris
And
Noth.
Mon was in it, and Michael Imperioli.
Michael on that set got me. He's got me a few films like in Lisbon, but that's when him and Victor, who wrote Summer of Sam, said, "Hey, we really want you to do this film." And I'm standing there. I said, "Okay," and I
The
wound up
movie's
with
on
it. And Spike
YouTube. You
directed
could
it.
watch it. The
A
movie's
lot
on
of the
YouTube.
guys that are in this movie are in
Yeah.
The Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Junior. I mean, Anthony Sirico
Yeah.
wound up. He asked
Frankie
me a couple
Vincent.
of times. Yeah, Frank was on that. I worked with him a few times.
David Johansen.
Yes.
Yeah, Johansson did a thing.
He was the
It's
cab
funny.
driver.
Tony Sirico said to me, Mikey, help me here. I got to call you, insult you. Which sounds better, hot on or hot on? I think hot on.
Hey, you know what, Marilyn? If you watch that movie, The Deli, it's on YouTube. There's a girl, and Mike, tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't she remind you of Debbie Mazur a little bit?
Well, Debbie Mays on, but Heather Monterazzo plays her little sister, I think.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could see. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I could see that. Definitely.
Yeah, she's got
Yeah.
that Debbie Mazur look like that, and she was
Yeah,
also in
actually,
Goodfellas
yes.
too.
She's a wonderful person, yeah.
So,
Wonderful actor.
Ray Dawn,
Mhm.
body of work. What's the one thing out of that whole body of work that you're like, wow, I'm so happy I did this? It's like your crowning jewel, which I know is probably a difficult question.
You know what? I hated making it, but I like and think that it holds up Quest for Fire.
Oh,
really?
cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was so gnarly to make. It was an absolute misery fest for 2 years. I mean, I'm naked, I'm covered in paint, I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys, and it's not English. We're playing early man, so it just was a miserable shoot, and every location was like miles away from any comfort, and it was either boiling or freezing, and we were always just on the verge of dying every day. So it was Jean-Jacques Hano, a French, really poncy director, very talented, but an absolute nightmare to work for. But the film is so spectacular, and I think they're re-releasing it right now. I think there's a way to see it. I don't know how, but Quest for Fire I think is a work of art.
You mean like the writing and stuff and the whole concept?
Everything about Quest for Fire, from the top to the bottom, I always say it was made 40 years ago and 40 pounds ago. So it's just one of those films where from the top, the second it starts, the first note until the end of the movie, you're just riveted.
Oh wow!
And it holds up. Quest
Oh,
for Fire
wow.
or La Guerre du
I would have
Feu.
never expected that answer.
It's the best film I've ever done as far as perfection from top to bottom. And I did it when I was 19, and it sort of bums me out because I wish I had done. I mean, I've done some pretty good ones, and but that one, I think that one is amazing. And you would never recognize me because I'm
Right,
covered in
right.
blood, and I'm isn't that funny?
Oh my God, Charlie!
I'm really glad I did that movie. It was not fun. Like I said, we didn't get paid. I've never gotten a residual from it. There's like nothing other than it's just, thank God it's a work of art.
Charlie, 2-part question for you: favorite scene in a movie you've done, and favorite person you've done a scene with.
Wow,
that's a good question.
We won't tell anyone.
Yeah,
It could be
this
a
is
fun
between
scene.
us, only
It
between
could,
us.
yeah,
It's
it could be a
just
fun scene. It could be a
Who did you
heartfelt
love the
scene.
most?
Oh, like a love scene? Yeah.
No,
Naughty.
but just where you loved
But if
the
you want to,
chemistry.
but if you want to share that too, you can. I just kidding.
There's a scene in a movie called 18 Again with George Burns that I did where
I love that movie.
we're sitting in a diner together, and it's just
Kellerman's.
he and I, and it's just a talk scene, and it's
Yeah.
him asking me, how are things going in college, and I go, it's okay, and it's him saying, this should be the time of your life, and
yes,
I just didn't want that night to end. That was like
Ah.
I think
love
that was like the
that.
first time, because and I was such a fan too. Oh God, Going in Style, Sunshine Boys, all of that was such a fan.
Gracie, George and
Right,
Gracie.
yeah.
All
Did he
the Burns
say
and
goodnight,
Allen.
Gracie, to you or no?
No, but I will say this: there is a scene at the end of the movie where we walk off into the sunset. It's I win the race, win the girl, all that stuff, and he puts his arm around me, and it's a big crane shot, and it sees these two little guys walking off into the sunset, and we did that shot 3 times, and each time we did it, he would tell me a different story, and I'll only tell you one of them because I asked him. I said, God, this is on film too. We're looking at each other, and I said, it seemed like you and Gracie had just the best, off-camera relationship as well. It seems like you guys really loved each other. And I go, that must have been really difficult, when she passed. And he said, we used to sleep in twin beds. And he said the one thing that helped him overcome the loss was he started sleeping in her bed so that he wouldn't have to look at her empty
Lord.
bed.
Oh my Lord!
Wow.
That's
And
so
that was just
romantic.
one of the sweetest things I've ever heard a human say to
Yeah.
another human, and it was with him, So
His TV show was ahead of its time in the
Oh.
in the 50s and the 60s, talking to the TV,
Yeah.
watching the TV of other people. That was way ahead of a lot of films.
Yeah.
And
If
he
you guys got
reminded me- oh, go
no, go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry.
I was going to say my
with
grandfather
that.
Charlie Schlatter was from the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and he was like an exact replica of George Burns. So many times people thought I was doing an impersonation of George. I was really just kind of channeling my own grandfather and how
That
he
is
would
so
say it.
special.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so cool,
so-
dude. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's nice as a kid. It's nice to come home and say, "Hey, I'm going to be in a movie." But
Yeah.
it's even better when it's with someone that they love.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That makes it more memorable and more special.
For everybody, yeah. And the older I get, the more and more I just cling to it and love that it happened.
Right. Any questions from Chris or from Mary? Any questions before we get out of here?
Charlie, you said your grandfather grew up in the Lower East Side. Have you ever spent time in the Lower East Side?
Oh yeah, I worked at the New York Post for a little while with my dad
Oh,
down
okay.
on Fulton.
Down in the Fulton Fish Market area.
By the
Yeah.
fish market, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do
then
you
I
know
know-
that
moved
it
to-
flooded?
then they
It
moved to
flooded.
Brooklyn.
It flooded
What's-
during a hurricane, the Fulton Fish
Yeah.
Market.
Oh yeah.
But,
And that whole
I,
station was underwater.
Gone.
recently, I'm a promoter, so I put on freestyle music shows with house music and stuff like that. And I do it in Brooklyn. We do Jersey. We do Westchester, Massachusetts. And we did one recently at the Copacabana. It's not the real Copacabana. It's just
Right.
the name on the West Side Highway in Manhattan. And we raised $1,500 for the Henry Street settlement in
Oh,
one
nice.
night.
Good for you.
So we made a check donation to them. We did a show up in Holyoke, Mass. We raised $4,500 for the Shriners.
Great.
And now my next show, which is, I've got a couple of shows before, but I have a big show in Portchester, New York, in Westchester County, October 3rd. We're going to raise money for the veterans now. So
Nice.
I wanted to put that out there because it's fitting because we're on American Forces Network. But I'm going to raise as much money as I can for the veterans.
Good for you.
Yeah,
They
he's been
need all
doing
the
a lot
help.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of great stuff, and he just keeps giving and giving, and that's why he's. You know what I say? If you put good out there, that's what you're going to get back. And
That's
he's-
so good. Thank you.
Yeah, I listen, Ray. Not for nothing. I've come to a point in my life where I've done everything I can. I work as a project manager during the day, but I do these other things. And if I can make somebody's life a little bit better, a little bit happier, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to do my part. And the joy I see when I hand over a check to somebody, it's pretty amazing. So
Absolutely.
I know you said you did something with Carlo with a fundraiser, and it's just the feeling's unbelievable.
Yeah, we did a crazy thing. There was a charity called because I'm a leukemia survivor. I have it.
Oh, wow.
But there was this. I was nominated for this like Man of the Year through the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and it's
Yes.
like a fundraising contest, and I was able to raise like $340,000 for it, and just based on like little shows I did, or you know, going to wonderful celebrities who were able to donate really great things. So. You know, honestly, that's what life is, and you guys know that it's just giving and giving, and yeah, I mean, don't worry about taking, just keep giving. That's what fills your heart.
Yeah, and we went to the restaurant afterwards, and it was a really cool night.
The
and
Dutch
it was-
House in Fairlawn, New Jersey.
Yeah. So, hey, Charlie, Marilyn, she's like I told you, she's an actor and she's a comedian, but she's really interested in voiceover work. She's got a knack for it. And you used to be the voice of the Honey Nut Cheerio bee. So because that seems to be to me like a very clicky, nichey market.
It's clicky and nichey, and you've got to learn how to do it.
To be happy, be healthy. Yeah, you know, honestly, Marilyn, if you want, reach out to me after this. My battery's going to die, and I'm at 5%. But
Mine
reach out
just
to me
did.
after this, because I work with a lot of people that always ask me, because I do a lot of the Comic-Cons and things, because I'm the voice of the Flash and a bunch of goofy things, and people will say, how do I get into it? I want to start. And I love working with people who haven't done it before.
Right.
And you could decide if you want to move forward or not. But I help people like set up a studio and
Right.
develop character stuff and put together a nice reel for themselves.
Thank you. Yeah, because
know.
not only do I do acting, but in quarantine, I figured I want to do something else, get something else that's creative. And I figure voiceover, why not? So I went to voice.
That's why I did it. That's
Yeah,
exactly why
Albany.
I got into it, just to
Yeah.
stay creative and stay in the game. And
Right.
your accent is beautiful to begin with.
It's
It's so
so
authentic.
good. It's so
I don't
good. All right,
hear
love you
it.
guys. I'm gonna
I
go.
don't
You don't hear it?
And Marilyn, give him some of the South Park stuff.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm out, you guys. I love you.
Ray,
Bye.
I
Ray,
Thank
don't
you.
It's such a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Ray, before you go, could you do me one quick favor?
Yes.
Could you do a station ID for me?
Sure.
Just hey, this is Ray Dong Chong, and you're listening to the Animal House Radio. Very simple.
Hey, this is Ray Don Chong, and you're listening to Animal House Radio.
Ooh,
Look at that
thank
one
you.
shot.
Wow, like a
Ray,
pro.
God bless you.
What a
I'm
natural.
sorry.
In
I'm
a world.
Oh my God, that guy Don LaFontaine.
Don LaFontaine,
Ray.
yeah.
That guy must be a
Thank
billionaire.
you so much.
Good night. God bless. Thank you. Thank you to Paris for making this happen. Her brother. But yeah, if you could help her, Charlie, it would mean a lot to me.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I did it in the quarantine. I went to a school called Voice Coaches, and it's in Albany, New York, but I'm here in Florida, so it was all online. I did my demo. I've only landed like 2 gigs, but it's very competitive, but I don't give up. But it's not, I haven't gotten much, but it is what it is. It's the industry. I get it.
I'm always leery of those things because you never know if they're legit or not.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why I was just gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask who was the head of that? Who ran
Oh
that?
my God. I forgot his name to be. It
But
was
some of
like
them are-
22 right. They were pretty legit. Like I did research. They were legit. I went to
Yeah, good.
I got my demo and everything, but I did my research. But you have to be
Okay.
careful because a lot of them can be
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, okay, they coached me, and now what? You know, I like to take the student like through the whole thing, and I always make that promise to them to say, once we've completed a demo for you, I guarantee my agent will listen to it.
right. And
I'm
I
not
passed it on to
guaranteeing-
all my I passed it on
I'm
to all
not
my
guaranteeing
agents.
anything
Right.
past that,
Right. Right.
because I can't, you know.
Right.
But I have an agent who said, Charlie, I will gladly listen to 90 seconds of anything you give me.
Yeah.
And I take them up on that at every turn.
Right.
Good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because
Yeah.
it is tough, especially
is.
now. That talent pool is,
I
there's
know.
like voice bank and all that crap.
So much.
There used to just be like 10 of us. So we'd all be in a room making fart noises, and it was so incestuous. It was the same guys. We'd all be sick of each other.
Yeah.
That was Mike making those fart noises. because
No,
they-
no,
they-
no,
they
never,
always
ever,
play
no.
the big guy.
Stop! Don't even go that way. No.
That's
They
why he
always-
had to leave. He had to take a. No, just kidding.
Mike, they
I got
always
my
play the
battery
big
going.
guy in the room.
And Mike, I was so sorry to hear that
Yeah.
you're a Jets fan.
Who said I'm a Jets fan?
I thought I heard you earlier saying you were a Jets
No,
fan.
my brother played, and it was after Jets practice. He ambushed me. I was gonna be a poli-sci major and do theater. I got him. Yeah, and he ambushed me with the drama department. I said, I ain't gonna be a drama major. He said, hey, schmuck.
So then
They
does
don't
that
have
mean
anyone.
Are you a
he
Giants
said-
guy?
Yeah, and he said they don't have anyone that looks like you, sounds like you, or comes from where we come from. If you're any good, you're gonna get a full scholarship after a year, 12 credits or whatever.
He's
And
right.
next thing I knew, I was in body movement classes in tights with all these men and women.
Yep.
You know.
I want to see the video on that.
I second that. I second that.
My battery is back. You had to see me scrambling. I'm on the phone now. It went
Mike,
out.
I'm grateful that you came and you always step up, and I love you, brother, and thanks to Joanne too for giving us access to you, because
Yeah,
and
I gotta get going soon there. But
Yeah.
you guys, no, it's so great to meet you. All the people, the new people on this, new people to me, I mean, at least.
You as well,
And it's
sir.
an honor to be with this
Pleasure.
great group. You know.
And happy
Hope to see you
Memorial
all
Day,
again.
everyone.
absolutely,
A
yeah.
blessed one. Yeah, I
Hey,
think
Charlie,
of
if you
my
ever
two
need a
older
guinea-
brothers,
if you need a guinea for anything, let me know.
What's
and
that?
also Carlo. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, if you ever need a guinea for anything, let me know.
Yeah,
Don't use
right?
that word. That's a
I got
bad
enough
word.
in
I
my
thought
family
he
and
said
Paulo.
I'm joking.
I thought he said
Paulo.
kidney. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I
Carlo.
thought too.
I'll take a kidney too.
Kidney.
Carlo, I want to say something to those guys out there. My oldest brother John, who's not with us anymore, was a Marine in Southeast Asia, early '60s, and these guys raised me, as I was saying before. My three older brothers now with us, and brother Jimmy, who was collecting for Agent Orange, he was 68 in Vietnam. So I just like to share that with everybody out there, and that's what Memorial Day is about to me. It's not about eating and drinking or whatever that stuff is. And it's nice that people get together, but that's what it was originally all about. So I'm just
Absolutely.
going to say that.
It's
To all
because
my fathers and uncles, my
Yeah, it's
father and
because of
uncles.
what they did. We were able to have those barbecues.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
cool.
well, they're selfless,
Just respect.
Michael. Michael.
Whatever it is, I just wanted to send that respect out there. Whatever.
Oh, God bless you, Mike.
Mike,
Yeah.
you want to know something?
Here, here.
Everybody who's in the military, they're selfless. They're protecting our families. They're protecting our country. They're protecting our rights. And I'm going to tell you, Carl could tell you. The other day, I was at a gas station here in Newtown, Connecticut. There was an army personnel walks in. I wanted to fill his car up with gas. He had already done it. Beautiful that you did that.
Absolutely.
People need to remember what that day's all about, and your family sacrifice too. So, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
I want to thank
Hey,
you.
I
both.
lifted on it down. Thank you, everyone.
No,
for
no,
putting
you
up
didn't,
with me.
Mike. Thank you for always stepping up for me, pal. Anytime you need me, and Charlie, you too. I know. I hope you stay safe out there. And if there's anything you need, you call me. And if, with your permission, I'll give Marilyn your contact information. And then, if you can help her out, I'd appreciate. I'll owe you a favor.
Yeah, his phone went dead.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he was dying.
5% too. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I just hope to work with everyone that's up in there on the group today. It would be great down the road.
Oh, you
do
will, Mike.
something.
You're not even. You show no signs of slowing down. Every time I talk to you,
No, I
you're
mean
in,
with everybody that's here right now. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
that
Wow.
was on
I'd love
today.
to work with you.
You had
Let me
some
know.
wonderful people in the beginning too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's an honor. You had right on.
God bless you,
All
Mike.
right.
God bless you.
All right. All right, you
God bless.
kids.
Have a
No
beautiful day.
jaywalking
Happy
out there.
Memorial
No
Day.
Remember, no jaywalking out there, you kids. Okay.
And when I see a moving truck, I'll think of you.
All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us
Keep
and
on
all our
keeping on.
guests.
Right on.
and
God
my
bless.
two beautiful co-hosts, Chris Buccieri and Mary Lynn
Great
Farah,
job.
for doing an excellent job, and to all our men and women out there who may not be near their loved ones right now, come home safe. Thank you for making an ultimate sacrifice for our country and saying nothing's going to happen to you on my watch, and for that I'm grateful.
Carlo, I'll see you in Miami sometime.
Yeah, come down. We'll have some.
Maybe the
We'll
end
have
of
some
August. I got
beats.
some
Yeah.
people there, friends of.
Bye,
right.
Michael.
All
Bye.
right. Bye
All the
bye.
best.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. All right. There we go. There we have it.
Good. That was. What did you think, Chris, on a scale from 1 to 10?
It's good. It was good.
I-
9.
9. Yeah.
I thought it was good.
What was
You
your?
know?
What did you enjoy the most? Because I know you were laughing when they insulted you with the Triumph.
Robert, I've always loved his body of work and what he does, and when he was just sitting there, and other people were talking, and he's got the dog looking at the camera. Stupid stuff like that makes me laugh. It really makes me laugh, and I started cracking up inside. And then when he opened up his mouth, I couldn't contain it anymore.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's.
So you got to get me that drop though.
Oh yeah, I'll give you the whole thing, and then you can cut it up.
Yeah.
You can have Omar's
good.
daughter do it. She's good with editing. I mean, I can
Yeah,
give you the
yeah.
audio, but you want the video as well, right?
Yeah, I want the video of that, definitely. Well, you can get the video off your TikTok page too.
No, I can. When soon as you hit the end stream, it gives you a chance to download full audio or full video for this.
Okay, do the video. Do it both.
Yeah, and Mary, you
good.
want a copy too as well, right? Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Fun.
I
Thank you,
think
Carlo.
Charlie tried to come back in to say goodbye, but let's see if he
Thanks,
comes
Carlo,
back in.
for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Absolutely. Anytime you want to come on, don't feel no pressure. The door's always open.
Thanks. It was fun. Very fun.
So what was your favorite part, Mary?
Oh my gosh, the laughing, like the laughing, the interaction. I loved Ray. I loved everybody. She was a character.
I knew you were gonna like her. 'Cause,
Yeah, I couldn't stop
She
laughing.
was
She was good.
excuse me, when she came on and smiled, that's the smile I remember from when she was acting.
Yeah.
And even her voice sounds like it does in the 80s. She doesn't sound like a 65-year-old
She was great. The only thing different about her is her hair color. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I felt bad for Otis because he kept coming in and out, and
I know. I gotta call him and say, yeah, he's just not. Every time he would come in, and I bring him in, his video would go out. So I don't know what happened.
Oh, and Robert was texting me saying I need to get a new laptop. I said just call me tomorrow so we can talk about this. The vet rest. So
Okay.
yeah.
he's,
So
so you've raised money already, huh?
yeah.
So that's great. That's great.
We've
Yeah.
raised about $150 so far for it.
Oh wow, that's
And,
awesome.
October's the show, so we'll see what happens. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, I know you got to get up early, Chris and Mary.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you know.
run. Marilyn, I see you. Talk to you later. It was good seeing you tonight.
likewise. God bless you
Yeah.
both. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
All
you.
right, good night,
Carl,
guys.
talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you all. We'll see you again on the next time. And thank
Good
you
night,
all for
everybody.
tuning in. And
Bye-bye.